You're about to watch another exciting episode of the Dungeon Run, but did you know that you can actually be part of the adventure? Tune in live on Wednesday nights at 6 p.m. Pacific time, and you can make your voice heard and help determine the fate of our adventurers. Hope to see you there.
Oh, hi! Hey, let's do a show! Hey, everybody!
Hey, you want to do a show?
Yeah, let's do it! Yeah, that felt pretty good! Welcome to the Dungeon Run, friends and loved ones. How we doing? I am so happy to see these faces, and I'm so happy to see all of you. Thank you for joining us live in chat, because we do Forbidden Live. We've talked about that before, but I just want to say that, to be clear, we out here live with you folks. It is Wednesday night at 6:20 p.m., February 5th. I don't know if that proves anything. Anyway.
It proves that you can read a clock.
Thank you.
If people are watching it, they're like, wow, that is the time in Pacific time.
Correct. Sure. So we are back for another episode of our Call of Cthulhu campaign, Forbidden. We performed a dissection of a monster's leg last episode. Who knows what'll happen this week?
Who knows?
We did. But we couldn't make this show happen without the help of some awesome folks. Ron, would you tell us about them?
Oh, yes, I can. I certainly can. We're sponsored by Eldritch Foundry. We talk every episode about all the awesome minis you can create and print with them. So many customizations and designs available, it puts your imagination to the test. Check out their new releases on their website. They're putting out wild new designs all the time. Lizard gods, Leonin paladins, and I'll print them for you in full color. And they'll print them for you in full color.
Wait,
I
you're
can't
doing
do
it
that,
now?
They
Wait,
can.
no,
No, I cannot. No. They'll do that. They'll print them for you in full color. Design and get your minis printed for you or paint them yourself. Go to eldritch-foundry.com and use our discount code, The Dungeon Run, capital T, capital D, capital R, at checkout to get 20% off. Woo. Die Hard Dice is the place to go for gorgeous dice and accessories. Right now, roll with love with their enchanting Valentine's Day collection with multiple sets of gorgeous dice for somebody you love. Because we all know there's nothing sexier than looking into your loved one's eyes and whispering, "Roll for initiative."
I have so much fun giving Ron weird stuff to say.
It's fun for me too. I hope it's hidden. I don't know. I have no audience, so I'm going blind. Check it out at dieharddice.com, and don't forget to use our coupon code Dungeon Run, capital D, capital R, at checkout for a discount on us. Our show is made possible by Patreon. Go to patreon.com/the Dungeon Run for all the incredible bonus content. For just $5 a month, you get access to cool behind-the-scenes content and our after-show short rest, exclusively only to you patrons. Early access is to certain content, free interactivity, and a spot in our long-running D&D campaign run by Morgan Peter Brown. All could be yours if you become a patron. Hey, new patron shout-outs. Welcome, new patron, Gab F.
Hi, welcome.
Welcome. There's so much more fun to be had. Get over to patreon.com/the Dungeon Run. Morgan?
Thank you, Ron. Now, as you might know, if you're new here, we are an interactive show where you have the chance to affect our story in unique and surprising ways. That's right. We're bringing our familiar brand of interactive chaos over to Forbidden, and boy, it's just helping the chaos get even crazier, right? Use our custom Twitch extension or the link you can find in the About section of our Twitch page, or you can just go to streamelements.com/thedungeonrun/tip. Now, there are two ways to help or challenge our players. You can choose to give bonus or penalty dice for any player or the keeper. As I like to say every week, just so you know, the keeper rolls less in Call of Cthulhu. So I love a bonus or penalty dice. If you want to give them to me, just know it'll take me a little longer to get through them. Also, you can gift any player the power of luck. We are giving you the option of adding 10 luck points to any player's stash that they can use to turn a failure into a success. It'll be up to them when to spend them, but I imagine they'll be very grateful for the help. In fact, Ron, using their Patreon free interactivity, Angel Devilson has chosen to give you 10 free luck points.
Thanks, Angel Devilson.
Nice.
Absolutely. But as we've been doing every episode, we're going to start right now with rolling to see if our players can increase a little bit of their luck on their own. Rachel, I love that face. Let me see it. What's your current luck at?
57.
Pretty good. I mean, not the worst odds.
24.
Oh, no, I'm sorry. You got to roll
Yeah.
over it.
Yeah.
Okay, so no new luck for you, but 57's not bad. Not bad at all. Surena, what about you? Where's your luck at?
You're muted.
You are muted.
You are muted.
Hello, sorry.
You're
My
good.
luck is 59.
Okay,
Okay. Oh,
give me a roll.
All right, here we go.
The sound.
No, that I rolled a 92.
That's what you need to do it. No,
No,
that's
you need
good
to
in
roll
this
lower.
case.
That's good?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's good.
I got so scared.
Okay, so roll a d10 and
Okay.
add that to your luck.
Oh, so startled.
7.
Oh my goodness.
Nice.
7. Okay, great. You get 7 new luck points. That's fantastic. Lexi, what is your luck at?
My luck is 65. I haven't spent any of it yet. So.
I know you've been very conservative with your luck,
And
which
frugal.
I appreciate in a player. I'll try to give you a reason to start throwing some around tonight.
Yeah, maybe that'll be today. Okay, that's only gonna be a 30, so
Oh,
I rolled
okay.
under.
All right, well, that will sit where it sits for now. And Ron, what about you, buddy?
All right, let's do it. Oh, it was almost a 92, but it's a 52. Under 61.
52 under 6. I mean, 61's not bad though, but no new
it's
luck
not.
for you.
Well, and then plus the 10.
Plus
that
the
I-
10 you get from Angel Devilson. That's right.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, are armed with luck and their various levels of sanity, I think we're ready, Sean. Take us into the Forbidden. Last time we were together, Lorelei, Charlotte, Diarmuid, and Eden barely escaped the mysterious and disturbing Thistledown Golf Club with their lives and their sanity intact. And with an additional appendage in the trunk to boot, so to speak. Exhausted, bruised, hungry, and more than a little paranoid, our intrepid investigators retreated to the much more comfortable confines of the nearby Crowwood Hall, the beautiful estate belonging to Arthur Macmillan, the missing aristocrat they'd been contracted to find. And despite arriving well past midnight early on Christmas morning, they found Crystal Macmillan, Arthur's wife, eagerly waiting to speak to them. Sleep had been fitful of late for the lady of the house since her husband's disappearance. Desperate for answers, Crystal told the curious quartet she could handle it if he had been keeping things from her. It was the not knowing that was the torture. But Lorelei seemed to connect with particular interest to Crystal's story, sharing that her husband as well had gone missing 2 years ago, that it could be difficult to move on. But Crystal was insistent that despite it being a month since he'd been gone with no signs of life, she was absolutely certain that he was alive. Even at the late hour, the team was treated to hot tea and aperitifs by the hospitable staff of the manor, as well as heated plates from the evening's meal. But when a manic Charlotte attempted to look after the wounds Lorelei had sustained earlier in the evening, Lorelei withdrew with trepidation, rightfully noting that Charlotte's current agitated state and unsettling bedside manner left a little to be desired. She had a point, as Charlotte was still suffering the effects of underlying madness from the night's earlier horrifying events. Lorelei instead chose to leave her compatriots and go upstairs to one of the rooms prepared for them, where she could be alone and attempt to regain her senses after such a traumatizing evening. Meanwhile, it was getting impossible to ignore the growing aroma in the room, as Diarmuid had decided to keep the mysterious, monstrous appendage, amputated by gunfire, at his side, wrapped in his coat. Attempting to comfort Charlotte's nerves with some familiar scientific experimentation, he suggested that they, along with Eden, finish their meals and dissect the leg outside in the garage, hoping to learn a little more of the where, what, and who behind this disappearing, reappearing enigma that attacked them. As they set to the grim business in front of them, sharply peeling back the thick, silvery skin covered in viscous, foul-smelling, translucent liquid, they were able to make several discoveries. Perhaps most important being that this creature, whatever it was, seemed to be better suited to moving and living not on land, perhaps water, or somewhere that gravity was less forceful. Armed with this discovery and drawn even closer by the mystery, the investigators finally, mercifully, went to bed. But for Lorelei, the sleep was disrupted by vision in the night. Moving, shimmering darkness, and an emerging hand reaching towards her. Then a torso. Then a face. The face of Arthur Macmillan, looking directly at her and crying out, "Help! Whoever you are! The cellar!" But that was all he could get out, before the darkness swallowed him once more. Lorelei awoke, in the cold light of the dawn coming through her window, the golf club barely visible in the distance. Lorelei, despite a restless night of sleep, examining yourself as you sit up in bed, you find the bruises and the tender spots on your ribs seem to have improved slightly, though they are taking on an impressive shade of blue. You regain one more of your lost hit points.
Oh. Very nice.
Yeah, you don't regain all your hit points. This ain't D&D 5e.
No, that's okay. I'm okay with it. I'm only at a -1 now, so.
That's correct. But you have woken. It's hard to tell exactly what hour it is, but you could be able to tell by the angle of the sun, perhaps, that it's still pretty early.
Mm-hmm.
And you've woken up with a start after this horrifying vision.
Great. What a wonderful vacation. Lorelei is going to go into the bathroom and lift up the shirt of her nightgown, or the sleeve of her nightgown, to take a look at her arm and see how the cuts are doing.
Certainly. You do so, and it stings a little bit, where your flesh had been pierced somewhat by these sharp, 4 claw-like fingers that had grabbed you, and you'd felt the strength behind them. Charlotte's words from the previous evening about infection are still ringing in your ears as you're looking at them, and you don't see any of the telltale like real redness or anything like that. The cuts seem clean for this moment, but definitely quite tender for sure.
Is this a bathroom that has a cabinet behind the mirror?
Yeah.
Can I check to see if there's anything like gauze or bandages or anything I could put on my arm there?
I think you'd find probably just some basic, some very few basic. This is one of many guest rooms in this house, but maybe you could find some basic like cleansing pads and maybe a little bit of alcohol for sure.
Okay, yeah, she would do her best with what she has, clean up a little bit.
Great. As you go about doing that, Charlotte.
Uh-oh. Yes?
Sleep evaded you for a little while last night. Laying alone in your comfortable room in a comfortable bed, your brain would not stop thinking uncomfortable thoughts. And when you closed your eyes, images of strange silvery creatures with limbs so long, swimming through dark waters, or was the darkness something else? Strange gravitational variations can be found plenty of places after all. Why, the possibilities could be endless. It could be anywhere. It could be arms, it could be swims, it could be fins. But mercifully, even your brain grew tired eventually. And mentally and physically exhausted, you fell asleep. You woke before your eyes opened. And the first thing you noticed was the smell. Bacon. Then the sound. The chirping of small birds outside your window. The feel of the crisp sheets and warm blankets surrounding you. All these senses, they make sense. Things made sense again. For now. You are no longer affected by underlying madness.
Hooray! I'll say that before Charlotte, as Charlotte was having a lot of like the thoughts, I think that when she came back to her room, she wrote a lot in her journal, kind of like chronicling like what she has uncovered, complete with like kind of sketches of potential biology of the creature.
What could possibly have a leg like this?
And so there's sketches, there's notes, there's ramblings, because she at that time had underlying madness. And so that is kind of what set her on her untangling path. But as she wakes, crisp sheets, the smell of bacon, she thinks about the night before and the state she was in, and she has a little like a flare up of embarrassment, you know, when you do something really like uncomfortable and then you think about it later and you're like, so she kind of has that pit in her stomach, and she dresses for the day and is thinking about what to say to Lorelei.
Fascinating.
Yes.
Yes, you have, as you said, this kind of moment of embarrassment as you do pick up your journal from the last night, and if you look through the pages, right, like it's obviously your head, like it's not, but there is, you can even tell
I wasn't in my right.
It's a slight out of body experience as you see just the manner and
the
manic
haste.
nature, the amount of writing strictly. Yes. But as you dress yourself and get ready for the day, you think about this uncomfortable interaction that you and Lorelei had the previous evening, and what you could possibly say.
And I think that before she leaves her room, one of the biggest reasons why Charlotte likes to room alone and is very secluded in her room is because she has this small altar that she carries with her. It contains a mirror, a bell, and a black candle, as well as a tiny, like a portable statue of the goddess Hecate. And so as part of her morning ritual, as she is like about to leave, she'll ring the bell 3 times. She puts the bell down. The candle had been burnt, like she lit the candle before sleeping, so the candle is it is used, but is not the time for the candle. She kind of hopes for a better day, prays for a better day, and asks Hecate to guide her through the maze, through the labyrinth, so that she may reach the center and find the truth of what is happening here.
Okay.
And she leaves.
You have this moment of reflection, asking for guidance, unsure of what's ahead, but just wanting a little bit of nature's light, a little bit of something that feels a bit more like the world that you know
Yeah.
around you.
And Hecate is the bearer of the lantern, and the lantern that takes people through situations that are difficult. Sometimes, through to the afterlife. But she is truly asking for like the torch bearer to tell her where to go next.
I love that.
Mm-hmm.
Diarmuid and Eden, side by side on twin beds. The two of you slowly come to waking. Christmas morning in Crowwood Hall isn't the worst way to wake up. Once you're awake from your rooms on the second floor, you can hear the muted sounds from the kitchen below and a few delicious smells, as I mentioned, wafting up the stairs. How does this morning find you?
I think Eden is already awake.
Mm-hmm.
I think she is sitting on her side of the bed, already has like her heavy hunter's coat on, or something similar. She probably didn't bring that many outfits, but I think that she's just got this coat on already, has her gamekeeper's hat on, and if anything is just like, I think she probably has like a toothpick or something in her mouth, something that she's chewing on. If it's not a piece of bacon that she's tried to steal already, and she just has a little journal that she is like a pocket journal that she is writing in.
Diarmuid, you had found, as you were the last one sort of left cleaning up the mess, if you will, out in the garage outside the previous night, you had found when you made it up to the room at night, just a small collection of finger sandwiches on the bedside table next to your room, next to your bed, and the sleeping form of Eden very much already knocked out, but just a slight, not even a peace offering, no, just a slight little sign of hospitality that you could tell perhaps came from your new bunkmate. But how do you wake up this morning?
When Diarmuid came to bed that night, he probably sat on the bed for a good while. Probably longer, 2 hours more. Diarmuid tends to suffer from a bit of insomnia. He doesn't talk about it much, obviously. But usually when he does, they assume it's because he was in a war. And sure, that might be 1 out of 10 times. But the other 9 is something far more troubling.
And it being Christmas morning, I'm sure there's an association that
absolutely
has all kinds of nice and less nice associations.
It's about an hour into his 2 to 3 hour waiting for sleep to come, that he finally picks up one of the finger sandwiches and downs it.
Nice.
He falls asleep, but it's only 2 or 3 hours before sunrise. And when we wake, I assume.
I with that, knowing that much, I think Eden, probably you were up a good deal earlier than Diarmuid. Perhaps you maybe get the sense that like he's going to be sleeping a little bit longer. But you have time with your journal, and you hear perhaps the opening of doors outside as Lorelei or Charlotte are waking and moving out into the hallway.
I would love to, just first thing in the morning, I kind of want to go up to the door and just like listen for any sort of chatter, or even go to the edge of the, like, step out the door, go to the banister and see what I can overhear for a moment. Whether
Sure.
that's like my new friends that are waking, if they are already awake or not, or if there's any chatter or gossip or anything like that.
Sure. As you do you step outside or do you stay inside?
I think
Step
I'm
outside
gonna
your room.
Step outside. I think I'm gonna step outside.
Yeah, even before you open the door that leads out into the second floor hallway, you do hear, just not loud, but a telltale clatter of some pots and pans and various things, maybe a slight hissing of steam coming from the kitchen below. And as you step out into the hall, looking down the other direction on the other side of the stairs, you see a pair of maids down the hall, changing the linens in another one of the rooms on the floor. Both of them look to be about 16 or 17. And you do catch, just a little bit of whispering and giggling between the two of them. But they seem to be, going about their business in such a way, but they seem quite friendly and laughing with each other. However, they do come to an abrupt stop in their discussions as they see you exiting your room. Good morning. Sorry.
Good morning.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas, I guess.
Did you need something?
An extra blanket be great. Just
certainly. One moment. And the other one, as one of the girls runs off to grab some of the other ones, just looking at you a little shy and awkwardly.
Something interesting this morning. Something going on?
Oh no, it's quite quiet. Most of us will only work the half day for the holiday. The lady lets us go home in the afternoon.
Oh, well, that's kind of her.
Yes, she's quite kind.
Have any plans for Christmas? Are you spending it with family, with friends?
Yes, my family normally is at dinner.
Well, I hope it's good for you.
Thank you, and you as well. And her friend comes back with the blanket. Hey, here you are.
Yeah, I'm gonna take the extra blanket that I really didn't need.
Sure.
I will just.
And as you turn around, maybe at that moment, as you turn around in this kind of somewhat awkward interaction, you see Charlotte and Lorelei. Did you say you were exiting your room as well, or were you staying in your room a bit longer?
She's actually going to, as soon as the dressing of her wound or how much she can do is done, she's going to put on a house coat and then go see if she can find Mrs. McMillan to have just a private talk really quickly.
Oh, fantastic. So we'll say actually in this moment that you run into Charlotte exiting her room, Eden, as you turn around and with the giggling and discussion between the maids continues behind you. You get the sense that it's not about you or anything like that. It's just simple pleasantries happening. Yeah. But you turn around and you see Charlotte exiting her room.
Charlotte is a vision in emerald. So I am in a full new outfit, and I'm holding a little satchel, a little bag, as I come out of my room.
Interesting.
Oh.
Good morning. Merry Christmas.
Good morning. Merry Christmas. Actually, I knew that we would be here around the holidays. So I made everyone a little something. I don't really know you all very well, but I thought that we might as well celebrate, Christmas, because we're here. So, here, and I give you out of the bag, a white handkerchief that has a hand-embroidered black feather in the corner.
I don't think I've ever seen a symbol like this before.
Oh, I embroidered it. I didn't, want to be presumptuous and put initials on them. So they're all the same. But I thought that, everyone should have something. Because we're all new acquaintances, and it feels like if we can't be civilized, then what are we doing? You know what I mean?
I understand what you're saying. Best gift I've ever received for Christmas, so I thank you for that.
I'm sorry, what? This is the best gift you've ever received.
Yeah, it's handmade. It's not used.
It's completely clean, yes. Well, I wish I would have put more work into customizing it if I knew it would be the best gift that you received.
No, this is perfect. Truly. I I appreciate this, and I wish I would have gotten you all something. I didn't know how you would be, honestly.
Yeah, no, that's honestly why I made these before the trip, if I'm going to be honest, because I figured we were all, well, not on the boat, if I'm going to be honest. I made them on the boat. But I also didn't know how you'd be, and it's also small enough so you don't feel obligated to get me anything. This is just a gift, okay?
Did you know before you got on the boat that you would be in good hands?
Well, I had a bit of faith that I would be. But honestly, no. I was just trying to be brave just now. No, I had no idea. In fact, I was very scared about this, but there's something about being out that I thought, perhaps it would be okay, So yes and no, I guess. That's a weird answer. Sorry, I'm being so weird right now. I was, and Charlotte leans very close to you.
Yeah.
I feel like the last 24 hours have been extraordinarily bad for a lot of reasons. And, well, I just want to have a good day. I just want today to be a good day.
Well, we can start that for you. Easy. There's food downstairs. I've got an extra blanket for you. Not exactly a Christmas gift. And I
for
will
me?
put that
Wow.
huge blanket.
Wow, that's huge. It's big. It's heavy.
As you're having this conversation, sort of standing on the landing, looking down into the foyer below you, you get an even the morning light coming in through the front door and the kind of the front entrance area. You get an even better sense of the posh designs and decorations as you sort of had this, kind of moment of well, on that note, and and you have this kind of this moment of hopes for the day. But as you're doing so and having this conversation, the front door opens. And Keating, the butler, who you met last night, enters from outside with some envelopes under his arm. Oh, good morning. I hope you got some much needed rest.
Good morning, Keaton. What about you? Did you sleep well?
I did. Thank you. Yes, long night, but I think I was quite ready for it.
Thank you again so much for your hospitality and staying up so late for us.
It is my
really,
business, of course.
yes.
Happy to.
Oh, sorry. This is a question from Morgan.
Yes,
What kind of packages are these? Are we thinking bringing in gifts from the or is it
I mean, unless it's no, it's mostly business style envelopes.
Okay.
Roll a spot hidden, sure.
Yeah, let's do it. I would love to.
there is something in there of interest.
Love that. Okay. Well, this is going to be pretty high for me, so. Okay. I got an 82 over 75, so I will use my luck.
Oh.
I'll do it.
Okay.
And I guess I just need 7? No. Yeah. 7
12?
luck?
82 over 75? Yeah, that's only 7.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay, so I'll use 7 to get it.
Okay. With a simple success. I mean, you can't see anything specific. He's down the stairs, but you being from this area, you recognize one envelope that looks like it's from the telegram company. It's a very specific, distinctive shape and size of envelope. It's not longer. It's a little more of a blunter rectangle.
Did any of us, any of our guests receive anything? As in the
as
other three?
As a matter of fact, yes, we actually did receive a telegram from Mr. Lorelei.
Oh. Well, I can take it to him if you...
Are you certain?
Yes, he's my roommate. He's right behind me.
Yes, here you are. And he'll walk up and, please.
Yeah, I will take it. So I'm not super into like how telegrams worked back then. Would it have said anything about the person who telegrammed the gram? Like, I don't know.
Is it sealed? Is it like a postcard?
Yeah.
It says Agent Diarmuid O'Raleigh, Dundee, Scotland.
Okay.
That
So
is all it
just-
says on the out, and the Dundee Telegraph Company.
Okay, cool. I will take it from Keating and do a little like nod towards Charlotte. And thank you, Keating.
Mrs. Grant has prepared an exquisite Christmas breakfast when you're ready. You can be served in the dining room.
Okay, well, we should gather our group and head down.
Lorelei, are you wishing to head up straight to Mrs. McMillan's are you looking for her? You said you were going to go to her room. Is that what you had in mind?
Wherever I can find her. I probably would have, because I woke up so early, would have put on the house coat and then gone to probably the kitchen to find a servant and ask where she would be so I could have a conversation with her.
It was early enough that not even Mrs. Grant was awake. But it's fairly obvious, the construction of this place, that the third floor is sort of the master bedroom floor. So you could probably figure that out, that if you were looking for her bedroom, that would be easy enough to deduce.
Okay.
So at this hour, I mean, you walk by a clock, it's like 5 a.m.
Great. Okay.
Okay. Just want to be clear. Okay, great. So we're jumping back in time briefly to that this happened slightly before this. Okay. But you go up to the closed, heavy oak doors of the master chambers.
She's gonna pause, see if she hears anything, and if she doesn't, she's going to give it a solid knock.
Certainly. You give it a solid knock. I'm going to roll to see if she's awake. But as I had said, she has not been sleeping well.
Oh.
And I will say, I have some bonus die from Dungeon Speedrun. Thank you, Dungeon Speedrun, for the bonus die.
Nice.
So, I'm going to call this pretty decent odds that she's awake. But let's see. Oh, that's not great. Yeah, the better of the better. I did not roll great, but the better of the rolls was a 60, and I was saying there was a 70% chance she was still awake. So after a moment, you have this knock on the door, and there's a pause. Hello? Hello? Who's there?
Mrs. McMillan, I'm so sorry for the hour. It's Lorelei Shepherd. I thought perhaps we could talk?
Oh, Mrs. Shepherd, yes, come in.
Thank you. And she eases in and shuts the door behind her.
You step into, again, a very tastefully decorated, beautiful master bedroom. You see an ensuite off to one side, and she is sort of propped up in a beautiful four-poster bed. There's a love seat and a settee off to one side as well. You get the sense that, this would be gorgeous, but it is a bit in disarray at the moment, as you can see, whether it's newspapers or various items kind of strewn around, things. She does have people to help her, but there are certain things that you can see are left just so. But she at this moment is sitting in bed. Yes, is there something wrong?
I'm so sorry. Did not sleep very well. Could we have a chat And
I
she
suppose-
motions towards the love seat.
Yes. Certainly. And she'll get up, sort of eyeing you a little warily, but she can sort of, I think, see and read the care in your eyes in this way. And so, yes. And she is also wearing her house coat that you saw her wearing the previous night. She is never quite, as she sort of pulls it around herself comfortably. It is a colder morning, as I said. But she sits down. What is it?
The whole image of this hits very hard for Lorelei because this is exactly the place that she was 2 years ago.
Yeah.
So she goes and sits down next to Mrs. McMillan and tries to choose her words carefully, but first she turns and says, "How have you been holding up? And I don't mean the platitudes of, oh, I'm fine. How are you really holding up?"
Terribly. I will admit, having you all arrive here has been a small comfort. Hope is important. But as someone once said, it's the hope that kills you, isn't it?
I think it's also the hope that keeps you alive,
Yes.
keeps you going.
Yes.
I think that's more important. Mrs. McMillan, you had said last night you were seeing Arthur in your dreams, correct? What,
Yes. And she nods.
what happens in these dreams? Anything particular? Does he say anything particular?
Arthur is not Arthur is a proud man.
Mm-hmm.
I can count on one hand the number of times that I've ever seen him ask for help. So it is quite terrifying to see him this way, pleading, begging. Sometimes I see him in this room, begging for help. And sometimes there's blackness, darkness. Like something I've never seen. It's like so dark. I'm from the city. I'm from New York. It never really gets that dark there, does it?
No. I was just there. In fact, it is quite a lively place. City that never sleeps.
But out here away from things, and even so, I've never... It's as if it's keeping him from me.
I hope that what I am about to say does not alarm you, but I do not believe in keeping things from you, especially as a grieving wife.
You see her lean in. She'll put her hand on yours. Go on.
I had a dream last night. It woke me up, which is why I'm up so early. I had a dream that Arthur came to me. He was leaning out of some darkness, some void, and he said that he needed help, and he said, "The cellar."
Cellar?
You don't have a cellar here, do you?
No.
I have a very strong feeling that perhaps if he is trying to speak to one of us, he might be meaning the cellar in the golf
The club.
club.
Oh my goodness.
Would there be a reason that he would be telling me to go to the cellar? Does it spark anything for you?
I'm almost ashamed to admit I've been... Of course I went through there with the police. Of course I did my best to, but there's something about that place. I haven't spent much time there. It was always his pet project, and then once it became the scene of the crime, so to speak, it's been quite a grim prospect to return, so I haven't gone over there much.
Lorelei, thinking back to looking at that photo of Arthur in front of the club and looking like...
It was actually in front of this house.
Oh, it was this house.
Yes.
Oh.
And I think she had even said, too, that the house was sort of her project and the club.
Yeah.
Yes.
I have an unorthodox request in the hope of gaining some information, and you feel free to say no because it sounds absolutely insane.
Whatever you need.
I guess I must call myself a believer now. I was not for a very long time. And she takes the planchette on the chain out from the neck of her nightgown and she holds it out and she says, I had an experience during a reading, and I am forced to admit that I believe in things that may seem hokey and beyond our understanding now, and I would like to perhaps go into town and get a board. The board that goes to this planchette broke, so unfortunately I do not have one on my person, but I would like to get one or make one and perhaps try and use it here with you or at the club, perhaps both. I'm not sure.
Oh.
Feel free to say no. I know it's strange.
I'll have Keating go and get one this morning. I don't know where. I'll ask. Whatever you need.
Thank you.
Can I say? I see now that I feel a bit proven right, I will say, because when I reached out to Mr. Kirschbaum about finding help of some of the more traditional and less traditional variety, I asked for someone who might have knowledge of the unusual.
Yes, I used to fancy myself as just a logical human. I used to fancy myself as some sought-after antiquarian, but I suppose in actuality I'm more of a spiritualist now than anything else.
Yes. Well, we are what our circumstances make of us, aren't we?
Truly. Thank you. I
yes.
don't want to keep you up too long.
Thank you.
If I can do anything, I know what you're going through, and as she's holding the planchette, she's rubbing her thumb across her wedding ring, which is on the same chain next to the planchette. And she's not hiding it. She's making it obvious to really drill home, I know what you're going through without saying it out loud. If you need anything, I understand.
And her hand sort of reaches out and touches yours, and touches this same planchette as well, and she sort of looks at it curiously. Whatever it takes. Thank you.
Yes. Whatever it takes.
And you leave her.
Yeah.
And a few more hours go by. Do you go back into your room or do you go downstairs?
I would have headed downstairs. I think she would have a little notebook with her and be writing down questions and things that she would like to ask, things she wants to research. She definitely wants to research the manor that was the club before it was the club, the 1700s manor.
Sure.
So she's just sitting at the dining table waiting for breakfast and just scribbling.
And you've been there this whole morning, and you even catch sight of Mrs. Grant coming through, and she'll be setting out. Oh, good morning, Merry Christmas.
Good morning, Merry Christmas. I hope you have something fun planned.
Yes. My husband and I and our children have Christmas, a wonderful dinner planned, and along with presents this evening.
Lovely. Well, I hope you have a wonderful time.
Thank you. And she'll be setting out. You see her setting out scones and a samovar of coffee, a samovar of tea, and Charlotte and Eden. That is where you find Lorelei. As you finish this conversation with Keating and make your way down, you step your way into this dining room, a beautiful wood paneled room with a cozy hearth and marble mantel. Over the fire is a handsome portrait of Crystal and Arthur Macmillan. You'd guess maybe a decade younger, dressed in what appeared to be wedding fineries. A wedding portrait. And you also see Lorelei, perhaps helping herself to tea and scones, waiting for the more substantial breakfast to come, with writing in her journal.
She's definitely positioned herself as close to the samovar of coffee as she possibly can get without actually putting her head under the spout. And she just glances up and then looks back down to her writing and says, well, good morning.
Good morning. Merry Christmas.
Oh, yes, Merry Christmas.
Charlotte kind of waddles up to Lorelei and gingerly places the folded handkerchief next to her. Merry Christmas is a gift from me to you. Yes, I embroidered it myself. It's a feather. Oh, it's pretty great as far as feathers go.
That's lovely work. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Morgan, can I make an occult roll?
Sure.
Oh.
21 under 45.
45. That's a hard success.
Yeah.
Are you examining the black feather? Is that what you're looking at?
Yeah, for sure. It's an unusual piece of embroidery.
Charlotte, you tell me. Is it very strictly speaking a symbol of some kind?
So
with a hard success.
With a hard success.
I would say on a normal success it's probably just a black feather, but with a hard success, tell me.
Yeah, so with a hard success, you would know that crows and corvids are used throughout many different religions. But the way, like the stitch work, if you've looked at it closer, it looks almost like labyrinthian in its design. So basically, it is sort of like a totem of protection, or of messages received. So it's essentially, Charlotte, if you were to like really investigate, you with a hard success, it is sort of like a good luck totem. It was created with a lot of intention.
She looks over the embroidery and rubs her thumb over it and then sticks it in her pocket and goes back to looking at her journal and writing things down, but she's still talking to you and she says, so which one is it?
I'm sorry, what?
The god. Who is it that you pray to?
Oh, who else is in this room?
It's just the three of you.
Yeah,
Oh, right.
I look down and I'm like, I didn't even think.
Because I was like, Eden's here as well.
My occult is 5%. It's bad. So bad.
Never heard of it.
Greek pantheon? Norse pantheon? Egyptian pantheon?
Oh,
Others? Celtic? Pagan?
Greek.
Oh.
Greek. If I'm well, it's actually it's complicated because she existed both in Greek and Roman.
I know who you're speaking
pantheon.
of.
Yeah, it's confusing, right? With pantheons in general. But what I've learned is that religion, no matter where it comes from, can be helpful in times of confusion.
A lovely sentiment. Thank you.
You're welcome. So who do you pray to? Lorelei.
Nothing. No one.
Oh.
I pray to a happy life and love and good food and good coffee.
Genuinely surprises me.
Really?
Yes.
Why is that? I am an antiquarian by trade.
Of course, but an antiquarian by trade, there must be something that draws you to understanding the world around you. If it's purely just to understand it, then I guess that makes sense, but it feels awfully lonely to the idea of just floating in the void without anything else.
Not all of us have to believe in things outside of ourselves. I find all I need within myself.
Well, I can't argue with that.
I do it because I like history. I like learning about people and how they change and how they are incredibly similar throughout the ages.
That makes sense.
People never change.
I think people can be surprising.
You will find the same kinds of people throughout history, is what I am saying.
Ah, that makes sense. Good talk. I think this is going well. I would also like to say, with Eden here as witness, that I apologize for if I made you uncomfortable last night. It was not.
Oh, you did.
I know I did, and well, I am saying I'm sorry because I didn't really I lost myself a little bit, and I'm sorry because we have to work together, and in order for us to do the things that we need to do, we need to have trust. And so that is why I am apologizing here in this beautiful home too. So that is what I have said.
Thank you, Doctor. I appreciate that. And I know how embarrassing it is to apologize and admit that you are wrong. I am very bad at it myself. So thank you. I am sorry if I did anything to set you off.
Oh, thank you. Yes, I do have a phobia. I should have been implicit about that. Severed limbs. I can't do it. I cannot. Thinking about it, actually, you see, like, Charlotte has kind of goosebumps. Like, she is, like, it is very, like, scary for her. So, you know, we all have our things, right? We all have our baggage, the things that we're working through in our heads. So I'm glad that we can come to a good discussion point.
Do you like some coffee?
I would love some coffee. Yes, please.
Right.
Thank you. Oh my gosh.
Or steering the conversation in another direction.
Yes.
Take the biggest breath out.
I love you, awkward weirdos. This is so great.
I think at this point,
Yes.
Diarmuid wakes with a start. And anyone who would in the room would hear him say, Kaitel!
We're alone.
He takes one of the finger sandwiches that are still out and shoves it in his mouth. Something touched, something worn, felt, something felt. Something smelt. And I assume the telegram is left on the table slid under the door.
Yes,
Still
I'm sorry.
in someone
Eden,
else's hand.
Eden, do you still have it with you, or did you put it? Did you put it up? If you just still have it in your hands, that's fine.
I think I still have it in my hands.
Still have it in your hands.
So he'll
nothing of any telegram.
Yeah, so he'll wipe the sleep from his eyes.
And as you wake and come to fuller consciousness, you do probably also at this point hear the sounds of your friends coming from the dining room below. Not too loud. It's an old house, thick walls, but enough to hear that others are awake and about.
He'll grab his cigarettes and take one out and go to, and then realize where he's at, and he puts it back and throws his coat on, sort of straightens himself, rubs his teeth a bit, and heads down the stairs towards the sounds.
And meanwhile, as this is happening, Mrs. Grant has appeared into the dining room again with, you can, through a smaller side door, you can all tell connects to the kitchen. She has brought plates filled with eggs, potatoes, sausages, fried tomatoes and mushrooms, baked beans, as well as toast with jam and butter, refilling the coffee and the tea for each of you. And Diarmuid, you enter the dining room to find that your three friends tucking into this beautiful British Christmas breakfast, or Scottish breakfast, I should say. But yes, you find your three friends in a slightly awkward but quite pleasant morning.
Morning, you.
Morning. And he takes a ride out the door to go do his daily smoke in the morning. He doesn't seem to. He acknowledges you, obviously, and gives a slight smile, but it's very terse and short.
With just a short nod, you see him head right back to the front door, but you now see that he is awake as well.
Terrible habit.
Mm-hmm.
Mostly because it would be great if he were. I think he's interesting. Charlotte is fully having very social hardness.
Social hardness.
Yeah.
Maybe that's not how I
You
should
suffer from social hardness.
Maybe that's not how I, Surena, should have phrased it.
Relate.
I, Surena, am also having
relate.
social hardness.
Very real.
Hard relate.
But
Yeah.
I think it's like the idea of if you were really, really drunk the night before and you made some wild choices, the next morning is so painfully strange and hard. So that is that.
It's
energy.
Charlotte's version of the walk of shame.
Kind of. But it's like, I'm trapped here. There's no walk of shame to my home.
Nailed it.
I live here now for a little bit.
Oh no. I think he received something this morning, and
Keating at a certain point will appear and say a good hello to each of you, as well as those he'd already greeted. But the Lady Macmillan is taking her morning coffee in her chambers, but she asked me to let you know she would be more available around midday if there was anything you needed. Mrs. Shepherd, I understand I will be running an errand into town, and I will report back as best I can.
Thank you. I know it's a bit hard to find, but if you can find one, they are sometimes in toy stores.
Huh.
Funny
I will do my best, my lady. But as we spoke about, the foreman of the renovation at the golf club, Mr. Nan, will be coming by in about an hour. I understand he's bringing keys to the club, and he'll be able to answer any further questions at that time.
Thank you.
Yes, if there's anything else you need, let me know. Mrs. Grant will be taking off soon, but if there's any, the pantry and the icebox are fully stocked.
Keating, are you going to take a break for the holiday? Good.
I'll take a short break, but I will be back this evening to see to Mrs. Macmillan. It's my pleasure.
I hope you have a good time on your break.
Thank you so much.
Keating,
Yes.
no, any family to go home to, or?
No, I quite enjoy my work, and Mrs. Macmillan is in she's she has various. She's in a difficult time, so I'm my cares are here.
Was that a stumble of shame, of guilt, of sorrow?
Give me a psychology roll.
Yeah. I'm not good at that. Let's do it. Okay. No, 51 over 10.
Oh.
Rough.
I mean, you did catch, a little bit of a stumble, but yeah, it's difficult to tell. But he seems, as he had this entire time, he seems someone who takes great pride in his work and great pride in being an excellent butler.
Okay. I'll just nod and continue eating.
Keating, I hope it's not forward for me to say, but Mrs. McMillan is very lucky to have you watching out for her.
It's very kind. Thank you. She could use a bit of luck, I think.
Yeah.
Yes. Thank you.
Mhm.
Enjoy.
Thank you.
And he takes his leave.
As he takes his leave, Diarmuid comes back in and sort of almost runs into him.
Oh. Sir? Good
Hi,
morning.
Keaton. Hey, you're going into town.
I will be momentarily, yes.
Will you get me some cigarettes?
Certainly. Is there a brand that you prefer?
These are fine.
Excellent. And he takes note. Very good. I'll
Thank you.
return with them as soon as I can.
Aaron,
Hey.
Oh, I meant to say to you, Keaton, Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas, sir.
And a fry Weihnachten to you. Weihnachten, excuse me, Nachten.
Yes.
Froy Weihnachten. He says in German, Merry Christmas. To the rest of you.
My German is terrible, but I know that one
Ron's is
German?
Ron's is-
because of the song. Yes.
Yes, I was a translator.
Oh. I didn't know that fact about you. That's very interesting. Is that what you did in the military?
Partly, yeah.
Oh.
I also know French,
We know.
English, obviously, and Irish.
Well, that's incredible.
Gaelic.
Now that we are all here, I feel that I should tell you about the dream I had last night.
Oh, before that, sorry, I gotta get this out of the way. It's burning a hole in my pocket. And I'll slide the telegram over to Diarmuid.
Oh. For me. Oh, it's
Seemed like
I thought you were passing me a note.
no.
Telegram.
Where I'm from, we open just about every letter that comes in, so it's taken a lot of restraint not to open this.
Oh, I appreciate
yours.
you not digging into my privacy.
Of course,
That is very kind of you.
least I could do. Truly.
Morgan Hill, read it
Lorelei.
real quick.
Oh, yeah.
You see, it can be read quite quickly. You do see, as I said, on the front envelope, it says Agent Diarmuid O'Raleigh, Dundee, Scotland, and then the Dundee Telegram Company.
Okay.
You open it up, and you see the familiar name at the top, as well as familiarly terse and short manner of messaging. SDI New York. Chief Agent Leland Barker to Agent Diarmuid O'Raleigh, Dundee, Scotland. Client requests update regarding AM's presumed prospects. Stop. Memorial and business arrangements are on standby. Stop. Response requested promptly. Stop. That's it.
Do you have a copy of that, or can you send me that text?
I will send you the text. Yes.
Thank you.
Oh, Merry Christmas. Fluttering, giving you a hand-embroidered handkerchief.
Oh, what? For me?
Yes, Merry Christmas.
Oh, I couldn't. I got nothing for you.
Oh, no. Please. It's so small. It's just a handkerchief. It's useful and it's small. You don't have to get me anything. In fact, I wasn't expecting a gift from anyone. I like giving gifts.
I see. Well, thank you. And he'll take it from you gingerly. I haven't gotten a gift in quite a while. It's
Oh,
sorry. I don't know why that hit me in the right place. That was very kind of you.
Of course. I should have made these better. I should have put more work into them. If they are so meaningful.
Well, it's more the thought that counts.
Well, I hope that. I'm glad you like it, and I hope it can bring you comfort.
And
It's
in this
perfect
moment,
time of year to use it.
in this moment, as he's reviewing the telegram and holding on to this new gift from a friend, Lorelei, you were saying. Sorry.
Oh, she's just waiting for everyone to finish
Yes.
up.
Yeah, there's sort of a chaos, and then there's sort
Yeah.
of a lot of business.
Just
and catching
sipping
up
her
with-
coffee and waiting.
Correct. Yes. Yeah. But I wanted to make sure that we took care of all of our business and didn't want to interrupt.
So, would you like to hear about the dream I had about Arthur Macmillan?
Oh, Right.
Pardon me?
A dream about Arthur Macmillan last night. It woke me up at 5 a.m. I had a dream that he was reaching out of the void, and he was asking for help. And he said, the cellar, which I can only presume means the cellar that we were in yesterday, where everything went wrong. And I do... I yesterday was... Oh God, it feels like forever ago. It does not feel like yesterday. I was pulled. Diarmuid was there. He saw what happened. I was pulled elsewhere by this big, sharp creature. And I was in another place for a while. And I hated it. It made me feel awful. There was a blonde man there, wearing glasses. He had a little ponytail. His hair was pulled back, and he was trying to reach out to me. And it was not Arthur. I do not know this man. Does not look familiar to me at all. And he was trying to reach out to me, and I think he was talking to me on the other side. I'm not sure. A lot of things happened yesterday. And I was yanked through this ghostly skeleton of the house, and I saw all of the rooms flying by, and it was like I had X-ray vision. Somehow I was just pulled. And I woke up in a room upstairs in the club, and then there was writing on the chalkboard, and I think it was the blonde man, because I asked the blonde man for help, and then the blonde man, I think, wrote on the chalkboard and told me to go down, and I think he was leading me to all of you. And then I walked into this ballroom, and there was this massive debris all floating together in this giant orb. This sounds ridiculous, and I can tell by the looks on your faces that it sounds ridiculous, but trust me, after what we've seen yesterday, it's entirely plausible. There's something in that house. I think we have to go back to the cellar. Perhaps with more shotguns.
And does this house have a cellar? Are we sure it's not just this house?
Yes, I went
That's my
and talked
question.
to Mrs. Macmillan this morning, and there is no cellar here.
That she
So-
knows of?
That she knows of, yes, but this was her house. This was her choice. This was her project. Where Arthur was in charge of the golf club, this was hers. I think she
And-
would know.
And don't we also know that when Arthur disappeared, he was last seen at the golf house. So
I
it
think
is.
he's still there, but not there. And there's something behind that wall where the water heater was that I got sucked into. I don't know.
I remember that. I was
Mhm.
going to say, I mean, we planned going back there anyway, but
Yes.
did we want to go back there so soon, or did we want to like talk to more people before we decide what's happening?
At the very least, the foreman. And I want to get blueprints of this house. And I want to know what it was before it was a golf course. It was a manor of some kind, and I know nothing about the people that were there. And I want to do a seance there.
Pardon? What was the last part?
Hold on. What?
That is perhaps something that dear sweet Bennett Kirschbaum did not tell you about, but I am an amateur spiritualist. I used to hold seances for my wealthy friends all the time, and I thought it was just silly. And then I had an experience, and now I believe it. So I would like to try and have a seance in the golf club.
Wait, hold on.
Sorry, yes, I'm having a hard... You go, Diarmuid. You go.
Sorry, you said you thought it was silly, and then you had an experience, and now you believe it.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So if you thought it was silly, why were you doing it?
That's what I was gonna ask as well.
Yeah.
For fun. Do you know how much the hoity-toity elite of New York and London love the idea of a seance? My friends have such a gay time. They absolutely love it. Truly.
And how much money did you make?
Oh, not a lot. I didn't do it for money. Sweetheart, I don't need money.
I see. You already had it,
no
so you were
offense.
just having fun. I see.
I do not know. Waleed was a shipping magnate.
Oh.
Anyways.
Well, then.
Wow. Great. Well.
Like East Indian Company? Are we talking like that big of a shipping magnate? Are we talking king's money?
Undetermined.
Okay.
So I didn't bother with
Fair
this
enough.
business. I didn't understand it.
Understood.
Not for me.
So, are you sure that doing a seance, I guess, at the club is right?
No.
Are we trying... Isn't that... What is that, like an open door or something?
In theory.
So
But-
why would we open the door again if opening the door is what took you in the first place?
Because Arthur is still there.
Is there
So,
orange juice on the
somehow.
table?
I'm gonna
Oh, yes.
say this part out loud. Maybe we're all thinking it, maybe we're not. But I don't want to die.
You don't have to be there.
When you
I don't
say
mind
that,
going alone. I don't mind going alone.
No. I don't
When
want you to die
doing
either.
that.
I think we should be smart. Okay, well, your lackadaisical attitude about death is interesting, and we will explore that later. But,
Oh no, we don't have to.
Diarmuid pulls the whiskey bottle from his coat and he puts it on the table and he
Oh.
grabs a cup and some orange juice and pours it in the cup and then slams whiskey into it and drinks it back real quick and puts it on the table and says, okay, before we get... all right. Look, I'm not saying that we haven't experienced something here, but I think we need to tie our balloons to something.
yes.
I'm not saying do it right now,
Well,
but it is a thing I am planning to do in the future because I think either
I'm
nothing
not-
will happen and I will look very silly, or something will happen and we will get some answers.
Totally understand
makes
that.
complete sense.
Exactly.
What I will suggest, as a person who also has equal stake into this situation, as we all do, right? That we could absolutely do a seance. I think it's great. I think it's we should explore that for sure.
I'm hearing
However,
that.
you were also snatched because you were reckless. And so I'm afraid that without knowing more, that we are putting ourselves in unnecessary danger, which you don't seem to care about, but I do.
Well,
I wouldn't
that's
say not
saying a
care.
lot.
I don't think
Right,
she's...
listen,
Then tell
I
me
care.
how you care. Please,
My
tell
God.
me how you will plan to keep us safe, Lorelei.
At the end of the day, we're here to find someone, right? We're here to find someone. We're here to figure out an answer. And unfortunately, whether or not we care is not in the equation. It's about what we do to find that person, what we do to get the answer. I'm not fully against this. I don't fully
I'm not
believe in it.
either.
But I think that just as logical as you believe your methods and ways are, and just as logical as Diarmuid's methods and ways are, and whatever, I don't really know what my methods bring to this group, but whatever
Well, I'd
method
say
I
you
have,
just You just made the anchor. I was looking for something to hold the balloons from flying off into the sky, and I believe its name is Eden.
Well, listen,
thank you, my friend.
you're all... Charlotte, you're talking as if I am saying to do it now, and I am not. And I'm not saying that I would put any of you at risk. And frankly, I'm a little hurt that you would think that I would.
Well,
No, you are not an acceptable risk. None of you are an acceptable risk, but I am.
see
and
that's
I'm
why
positioned-
that's why I keep coming to that, Lorelei.
I am here for a purpose, just as any of us are. And it is my decision.
Sure. No, it is your decision, and I think you should do it. But what I'm saying is you are worth something. You are worth being protected as well. That is all I am trying to say.
Then we protect her ourselves.
Did we watch over her while she does it? Or are
There
we
is-
in-
Be that
There is-
serious.
It's not that serious, and in fact, I know that there's almost nothing you folks can do that can actually physically hurt me, so I have nothing to fear.
Yes.
So we might as
That's
well.
do
true.
believe
I didn't know that was on
I-
the table also.
You almost set yourself on fire yesterday.
What? Was that why you covered in gasoline?
Oh,
So
Yes,
I think that's why I'm trying to, with caution.
Diarmuid laughs slightly. He chokes himself.
What did I miss?
a lot,
So
but also so little of what happened. It seems like you've experienced a lot more than, well.
Yeah.
It,
I will say, I am not good in a physical altercation. I think that is very clear. But I would love to talk to more people and learn more. So let's maybe focus on that together. And we'll go back to the house. We will, what do you need for a seance, Lorelei?
I already have the planchette. I just need a board.
Is that what, Keaton's going into town for?
Heating? Yes.
Heating.
Yes, that's a hope. Listen,
Great.
forget I brought it up.
no.
We don't
It
have to
was-
worry about it now. It is a future problem.
I think
You
we
have
should do
any
it.
Solution.
I just want us to not run into the darkness is all I'm
No,
asking.
who's running? I'm sitting. I'm very comfortable here. I'm
No.
not running.
I'm sorry, that was an allusion to the first night?
I didn't run the first night, to be fair.
Okay. Well, so I just want
That's
to say
a
this out
difference
loud.
without a distinction.
I know. I'm just being cheeky for the sake of it.
All right, I was just calling it out.
Fair. All right. I will stop being reckless. I will try my best, even though it is against my nature, because I am by nature reckless. I will try not to be.
It's not that you do what you want. I am just voicing it. I'm worried about all of us. And you are an adult, please. I've lost people. Like from this, and I'm sure we all have in some ways. I used to be very reckless too. And it didn't exactly work out for me. So I care. I am not trying to be argumentative. I'm just saying this out loud so we know what the stakes are. That's it. And Charlotte proceeds to eat and drink her coffee.
Eden, you hear a knock on the front door.
I think I just stand. I look at the group, and I think I look at Lorelei, who kind of resigned, but something about this, I don't want her to, but I will resign myself and go to the front door.
There's almost in this moment of pausing and inspecting all of your friends, there you hear another small knock, and you realize Keating has gone for the day, or at least gone off to run these errands. But then you go towards the front, and you open the door, and the light comes through, and standing on the other side is a man in his early 50s with a dark complexion. You get the sense he might be decently tall, if not for his rounded shoulders and horrible posture. He takes off his tweed tam and nods to you. Hello? I'm here to see people from America, I believe.
Yeah, they're right in here.
I'm Cameron Nan.
The foreman, right?
Yes, foreman, yeah.
Eden Danforth, and I stick out my hand.
Pleasure. It's a pleasure. And he has jet black eyes. He looks thoroughly worn down by life. You would probably be able to see, and looking him directly in the face, telltale signs of an aging alcoholic. His cheeks and nose are covered with broken thread veins. And he has what appears to be a rolled up package under one arm. But he'll step past you if you're allowing him.
I'll open the door. I can take that package from you. Do you want any orange juice or coffee or anything?
Oh, that would be great. Yeah, tea and some juice would be terrific. And he hands us. He's like, I brought this for those of you about Thistledown. So, yeah, and he'll hand it to you and walk in.
Our group is right through this door over here.
Hello. Good morning. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas to you.
Merry Christmas.
The lady asked me to come tell you all I know about Thistledown.
Oh, Mr. Nan.
Yes, that's I. Yeah, that's, and he'll point to the package that he handed to Eden. Those are the renovation plans. It's blueprints.
Oh, can I see?
Yeah, I immediately hand them over to you.
She just makes room on the dinner table and starts laying them out.
Certainly. You see renovation plans for Thistledown Golf Club. I believe I sent you all in an email. There was a chance we were going to get to it last episode, but I will send them to you again. And Sean, if we could show them, if we could show the audience these plans.
Oh, so Morgan, Diarmuid will stand from his chair and insist that Nairn sit.
Well, that's very kind of you, sir. Thank you. I'll send it to you guys again just to make sure everybody's got it. Of course.
Nice.
Thistledown. Interesting.
I spoke to the police already. As I understand it, I was the last to see Mr. McMillan that day. Any questions you have, I'm happy to answer.
Many questions. Who is Harold? Harold Clemens?
Harold Clemens.
It's the name on the blueprints.
Ah, yes. He was the architect and the designer that Mr. McMillan contracted to do the renovations. Yes. But I'd been keeping him steadily updated on the status of all the work. Mr. McMillan and I, he's a good man from what I can tell. He was particular, but name one client who isn't. Paid his invoices on time. He seemed to have good taste. Wasn't asking us for us to turn it into some horrible American monstrosity. No offense.
None taken.
Morgan?
Yes, sir.
Does this man smell of alcohol?
Roll a spot hidden.
Okay.
Or there isn't a smell check, is there? I don't think there is.
I wish.
I'll call that a spot hidden.
Spot hidden. Ooh, 11 under 30.
Fantastic. A hard success. You do smell a little bit of alcohol. You do smell a little bit of whiskey. Not a lot. But you also get the sense that this is a man who maybe often smells like a little bit of whiskey.
Okay.
And you do not see telltale signs of drunkenness in him at this moment. But that day I'd updated him on the status of the work. It had slowed a bit due to some of the conditions. He wasn't happy about that.
Yes.
Aye.
Can you describe the conditions?
Aye. Well, working on big old places, you get used to certain things. Noises, shadows. You try to go about your work and not get spooked, you know? But starting a couple months back, some of the workers from town decided the place was haunted. That in its own right wasn't enough for most of them to stop showing up to work, but then some of the men started complaining of headaches, nausea. Men complained their tools were moved or things would go missing.
Did you ever experience any headaches? And if you have, can you just describe where in your head?
I suppose I mean, no more than usual for myself.
Sure.
I've been used to headaches, like the back.
The back. So like
Aye.
below your ear.
Yeah, behind and
Behind, right here.
yeah, I think so.
And was it like a pressure, or was it a stabbing pain? Do you? I'm so sorry. I'm a medical doctor. I'm trying to understand the affliction.
And you can see he's actually, like, in this part of it, he's kind of a little uncomfortable and nervous about pressure, I guess. Not like a stabbing pain, no.
Yes.
But one young fella, Levi was his name. He swore up and down that something tried to push him down the stairs.
I see.
Word got around. Men stopped agreeing to work inside. We started to have trouble filling up the work crews. Yeah. It's a small town. I mean, Dundee, you know, we're a growing city. We've got a fair amount of workers, but boys are happy for the work, but a word gets around. It's a small world, you know.
Mr. Nairn, do you know anything about what was there before the club? I heard that it was a manor built in the 1700s.
Well, the club sat abandoned. It was the original renovation was done in 1903. It opened at the time. Everyone was a bit excited about it, and then after a few years, as I understand, business sort of died out.
But was there a manor house there before the club?
Yes, I understand it, but I think it was in quite a bit of disrepair. I'm not sure. I'm not certain myself about who were the previous owners or anything like that. It was always sort of just kind of an eyesore, if I'll be honest.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it seemed it, and then it was unfortunate that it seemed to happen again when they tried to open up the original club, you know, 20 some odd years ago. But then once again, for almost a decade, it just sort of sat there. You could see it had good bones, you know, but it just sort of sat there, and everyone was quite, you know, glad when Mr. McMillan and his wife came to town and took over this lovely house, of course, and his plans. You know, it was exciting news.
Do you know where I would go to find any information about the house before that old manor?
You might be able to find something in the Dundee University Library, maybe.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, it was pretty unremarkable for quite a long time.
Cameron, can you tell me when was the last time you saw Mr. McMillan? And tell me, when's the last time you spoke to him? What happened?
It was that day. He'd come in the morning to sort of. I was working on the exterior with some of the boys, as I said. A lot of them were growing a bit trepidatious to go inside. But he was unhappy. He was pretty angry that day because of the slowing of the work and all. He walked part of the course, and the boys and I were working outside. And I saw him go inside around midday in a bit of a huff. But a few hours later, we were wrapping it up for the day, and I noticed his car was still there. I poked my head inside, I called out, but there was no sign of him. I was worried he might have had a heart attack or taken a spill. So I grabbed the 3 of the boys and we searched the whole place. Almost an hour later, nothing. I came by here assuming he'd taken the scenic road home or something, walked home or whatever. Nothing. It's damnedest thing.
I'm sorry. That was probably very confusing.
It was. But the stories you need to understand, there was the boy who said, as I said, it felt like he was pushed.
Mm-hmm.
There was one thing that happened that almost seemed a bit too... I wouldn't have believed it myself if I wasn't there. But it was sort of the straw that broke the camel's back, so to speak, with the workers.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
There was an older fellow who worked with us. His name is Callan McKay. He's a stubborn son of a... he's not scared of nothing. He was working inside long after, some of them had checked out. One day he was working on the 2nd floor, taking his lunch in the library. He dozed off, as I understand. But then he woke up because he felt himself being dragged across the floor. But he couldn't see what had him.
Mm-hmm.
He said it was like what you might imagine, like a bear or something, had him by the leg. And he kicked and he hollered, and he's a strong man, and whatever it was, after a while, I guess let him go. By the time we found him, he was white as a sheet.
Did he have any suspicions of where this thing might have been dragging him?
It was dragging him across the library. Couldn't really tell. But on his leg, below the knee, and I saw him myself, there were marks. Bloody marks, like a great big claw had a hold of him. And Diarmuid, you had been asking about this smell of alcohol, and you see him pull just a small flask out of his pocket and take a nip. As you might imagine, after that, volunteers were in short supply.
Can I, would I be able to roll a psychology? Because I think that he knows more, he's experienced more than he is willing to share because of his, he has a trauma response right now. I don't know how long he's been an alcoholic, but I think
That's a good idea.
anytime he is triggered, he's taking a sip, it feels like. So I just want to see if I can suss that out.
Sure. Yeah, roll me psychology.
Okay.
I will say, for this roll, Surena, you have a bonus die from Angel Devilson.
Thank you, Angel Devilson.
Yes.
That is a regular success.
Regular success. Nice. You feel a lot of guilt, a lot of embarrassment. He knows how he sounds. But you can also get the sense that he's just trying to give you what there is and make you make sense of it. As far as anything hiding himself, this last story, you could tell that he was holding that back a bit. Yeah.
So Charlotte sort of leans in and says, what you've experienced, I know what it's like to have things that are unexplainable and also be responsible for others. And so you can, the police, and I'm sure you've been through so much questioning and in all of that, but I just wanted to let you know that anything that you think that might be too unbelievable, too out of the ordinary, too extreme, know that we, of all people, believe you.
And he'll meet your eyes for a moment and give you a nod. And looking around at the four of you. I don't want to go back there.
We won't make you.
There's it's a bad feel to the place.
Mm-hmm.
And I can't deny what I saw. It just took him. That's what I felt like.
Did you notice the area being cold when that happened?
Aye.
Hmm.
That day, when we searched, that cellar was awfully cold.
Was the cellar the place he went missing? Was that the last place he was seen?
I saw him go through the side door, the one that's faces out on the course.
Hmm.
I don't know. As I said, he was alone inside the building as far as I knew. For several hours, I don't know. That was the last I saw, was him walking in that door.
Mr. Nairn, and Morgan, Diarmuid gets a little, his stance feels a little aggressive suddenly.
Okay.
He'll move his coat so that he can see his gun, and he'll get real close to him and look him in the face, and he's studying in his eyes, and he says, "Did you kill Arthur?"
Oh.
I'm studying, trying to determine if he's lying to me, if he's hiding something.
Give me a psychology roll. But he seems very intimidated by you and shrinks even a little more, even more so than this is sort of naturally slouched posture indicates. But no.
Psychology's not my greatest stat. No, that's a 56 over 10.
I mean, you see fear in his eyes. You see that you've successfully intimidated him. That part I won't make you roll for. But
yeah, as
actually,
soon as
you do have a bonus die from Idaho Judd if you would like to use it.
Ooh, okay. I'll use that bonus die for Idaho Judd. All right, let's see if we can get this below a 2. Still not enough though. 2-6 instead of 5-6.
Oh, closer. But But he shrinks away and he almost like backs up so that his like shoulders are like touching the mantle behind him. But he's like, no, I've talked about it quite a lot, but no, I swear to you.
As soon as he says that, the aggression and all of it shuts off, and Diarmuid says, "I'm sorry I had to scare you like that, but sometimes when people lie, you have to sort of shock the system to get them to tell the truth. I don't think you're lying. I don't think you killed the man, and I think what you're telling us about what happened to you is absolutely real. I just had to make sure. I apologize."
I appreciate that. If I were lying, I wouldn't say these stupid things. I know how I sound. And he'll reach into his jacket pocket, and you'll hear a jingling sound as he reaches in and pulls out a ring of keys, and he hands them to you, Diarmuid.
I'll take them.
Thank you. I've kept these.
Are there keys here to the office in the storage?
To the office in the yeah, and I believe so.
All right.
That should get you into every room. But it's still my work site, but it's hard to imagine she'll ever be finished.
Sure.
Mr. Nairn,
Aye.
Perhaps kind of a far-fetched question, but I thought I saw someone when we were driving past there the other night. A man with glasses and blonde hair that was tied back into a little ponytail. Does that sound familiar at all?
No?
I thought not. All right.
No.
I'm sorry to also bombard you with a question.
That's all right.
This Levi, friend, how easy is it to find him?
He's in town. You might find him at the pub. The popular pub in town is what's it called? It's called the Queen's Head. Queen's Head pub. You might find him there. I mean, maybe not today on the holiday, but he's around.
Cullen,
Cameron.
Cameron?
Well, I'm Cameron. Colin was the man who was
Oh, yes.
had the story about being dragged. Yeah.
Colin
Hi.
or Callum?
Callan.
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 A.N. I was so close.
I know.
And where might we find him? Is he open to discussions, you think?
He's not around.
What do you mean?
I mean, it's not that he. I ain't seen him much. He
Okay.
he stopped showing up to work shortly after, and I think normally where I would see him is the places where we would normally pick fellas up.
Yes.
Yeah, I ain't seen him.
The reason I'm asking as well, and again, my with my background, I was wondering if you noticed anything on the site of the wound. You said he had a scratch.
It's more than a scratch, yeah.
Gash. If you noticed any.
It was like 4 big cuts.
I see.
And yeah, there in his description of it, it sounds very familiar.
Mm-hmm. Did you notice anything after he was injured? Sweating, nausea, erratic behavior, confusion?
I didn't see him much. He left shortly after. I gave him the rest of the day off, obviously. But no.
Okay. That's
scared. All. Just scared witless, which is
Makes sense.
not his normal state of being.
Yes. You said he was not
Tough.
afraid of anything. Tough.
Tough
So,
man.
yeah.
I think it shook everyone up to see him so shook up. But my wife needs me home soon for the holiday. But
Yes.
If there was anything else,
Final question. Mr. McMillan, you said he was easy to work with before, he was particular, but I was wondering, did he seem angry about anything before the workers started jumping ship? Complain about anything in particular?
he seemed to like the golf. He seemed excited by it. And I mean, if you go and you see the club itself, it was coming out great. And he seemed genuinely to take some joy in that. I mean, we did some good work in there.
Was it joy or was it an obsession with... Did he particularly need it to work out? Did he seem like if it didn't work out, something bad would happen? Or
No, I don't think so. I mean, he's a rich man. That much was obvious. And he didn't want to waste his money. There was that, but no, it just seemed like a new hobby he really enjoyed.
Cameron, I've got one last question for you before you go.
Right.
And at this, Diarmuid, after he was sort of aggressive with him, has been scouring over the blueprint. And he points to the basement floor. And he says, forgive
Sean,
me.
Sean, can we see that map again real fast, please?
I was going to ask
Forgive
a question.
me. Forgive me. I don't know how buildings are built. Well, I do know how they're built, but I'm not an expert. But I do know that sometimes floors aren't the same if you build on top of them because there's something in the way, maybe a hill, or you're building on the side of a mountain or whatnot. This part here that's missing from the rectangle of the house on the basement floor, and he points to the empty space that's just below basement. What's in there? Do you know what's there? Is it just stone? Is it I don't remember there being a hill there.
Yeah, I believe so. I as far to my knowledge, it was stone and probably some of the foundations sunk because you got the corner of the building there. So, but nothing is. It was never part of our planned renovation or anything like that. And
you didn't see anything when you were working or hear weird things in that area or anything.
I'm gonna roll. By the way, I'm using a bonus die from Abracadabra. I think is a DM bonus die from that we still had remaining after Lest We Forget. So
Wow.
I know.
Kind.
Okay.
We
Okay.
got so many in Lest We Forget. Oh my gosh.
You got a bunch that day.
Oh my gosh. I used so many too.
He's thinking about it. As I said, it did seem to get cold down there, which is natural in cellars, I guess. But even in that boiler room, it got cold.
Hey.
And I mean, nothing too out of the ordinary, no. I'd hear a humming, I guess.
Like
that's
static.
Like an electrical noise.
Mm-hmm.
Like some sort of machinery or something. But I always took it to, because down there, and you'll see in the map, maybe it was one of the fuse boxes making a little extra, working a little harder than it should or something. I don't know.
You're right. Well, thank you. That's very helpful.
I'm happy to be of help.
Merry Christmas and give your best to your wife.
Yes. Merry Christmas. Thank you for talking to us.
Would you please take a scone for the road?
Yes.
Oh.
Yes. There's so many.
Well, thank you very much. She's wonderful. Best of luck to you all. And he'll shake each of your hands.
Thank you.
I do hope you find him. And he'll leave with a scone and leave out the front door. And with that, you all kind of take a quick sigh, and your eyes drift back to that telltale corner of the blueprint.
Diarmuid's going to roll that blueprint up.
Oh wait, can I before it
sure.
gets rolled up? She's like pressing her face right on in there.
Sure, yeah.
The furnace room, the boiler room.
Yes.
I'm not a carpenter, but the dimensions of it, does that seem accurate to the room that we were in?
Yes.
Okay. And when I saw something beyond it,
Yes.
was it in that empty space right above it?
Yes.
Okay.
And your eyes are drawn to this empty space. And that's where we're going to take our intermission. As the mystery deepens and you see what could be in that empty space.
The blueprints.
Woo! I love you, weirdos. We're going to be right back after a quick intermission. Then we're going to see what's next. I got some ideas, but I'm so excited. We will see you, friends, back here very shortly.
You fools! You'll never defeat me. Now face the wrath.
Why is he so hot? What?
I think it's just that epic miniature. It's really doing a lot for me, too.
Yeah, maybe. But he's also kinda...
Silence! As I was saying, face the wrath of my metal army, crafted here in my Eldritch Foundry.
Dude, where'd you get all these minis?
I'm subscribed to Eldritch Foundry's Eldritch Unlimited with unlimited STL downloads. Now, can we get back to...
Eldritch Foundry's amazing! I never thought I'd have the perfect mini for my demon-born, half-elemental, catfolk, warlock, bard multiclass with a bunny wizard familiar, but here she is. Thank you so much for printing her.
Yeah. Sure, Jen. No problem.
Now face my wrath. You fools! You'll never defeat me. Now face the wrath.
Why is he so hot?
What?
I think it's just that epic miniature. It's really doing a lot for me, too.
Yeah, maybe. But he's also kinda...
Silence! As I was saying, face the wrath of my metal army, crafted here in my eldritch foundry.
Dude, where'd you get all these minis?
I'm subscribed to Eldritch Foundry's Eldritch Unlimited with unlimited STL downloads. Now, can we get back to...
Eldritch Foundry's amazing! I never thought I'd have the perfect mini for my demon-born, half-elemental, catfolk, warlock, bard multi-class with a bunny wizard familiar, but here she is. Thank you so much for printing her.
Yeah. Sure, Jen. No problem.
Now face my wrath.
And we're back as our four investigators gather around this gorgeous dining table, having eaten a beautiful Christmas breakfast prepared for them. They find themselves just staring at this empty space on blueprints and coming up with plans. Thank you.
Yeah,
That was a compliment.
Diarmuid will roll up the blueprints and say, well, I think you might have been right about the cellar.
Mm-hmm.
So
I saw something in there. Something else. There's another room there. I know. I saw it.
The wall was weird. I remember that. When you were gone, the wall, it wasn't like the rest of the house.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm thinking we should be going then.
Where?
Yeah.
To the university, perhaps?
I would love to go to the university. Morgan, do I know anyone at the university?
Roll a luck roll, and I will add it's Christmas.
That's
The
true.
The library is probably not open.
What about my Christmas luck?
Aw.
All right, fine.
See what you get. Let's see what you get. Oh my god. That's what I get. That's what I get for allowing you to roll for it. That's it. What'd you get?
00 and an 8.
Under what?
Like 59?
59. Okay, so yeah, that's an extreme success.
Jeez.
I know everyone.
You do happen to know one of the librarians at University Library. Her name is Amara McGuire. You are friendly with her. You have spoken to her in the past in your business dealings and such. You've run into her in the past.
That makes sense.
That if you wanted to try to convince her to let you in today, you could. You could try.
Mm-hmm. I would like to try that.
You could certainly try. Okay.
Diarmuid says, do we need to go to the library today on Christmas?
No, but
You're muted, Surena. Sorry, dear.
what else would we do today?
So-
Well,
Well, Charlotte?
Sorry. I think my argument for the library on Christmas is because it will be closed. You see, I think we should break in.
Oh no! we don't have to do that. No,
I think we
don't
should
have
just break in.
No
What?
larceny. No, I have a friend who works
Breakfast
at the
is
university
probably just-
and who is a librarian, so I can get us in.
That's great.
potentially.
That's good. That's
Yeah,
very
do us me a
good.
favor.
Oh, easy. That's
I got
better,
her
honestly.
grandfather clock.
I am horrified at the idea of breaking into libraries.
Who's the reckless one now?
Yeah, I was like, didn't we just
No. This is the mundane. We can break into a place. I'm not gonna summon anything.
Oz is nothing sacred.
Physical places, no.
Absolutely not. We do not need to break in. We do not need to do anything illegal. Not yet. Let's hold off on that. No, my friend Amara works there, and I can pull some strings and maybe guilt her into letting us in.
We also could make our way back to the club.
That's what I was thinking. That way we don't have to ruin anyone's Christmas.
We could... No, I don't want you to go to the club alone. I was like, well, Lorelei and I could go to the library if you guys wanted to go to the club. But
I don't think we should split.
I don't think we should split either.
Unfortunately, the two of us have the guns, and the two of you have
Well, so
everything else. So.
I wouldn't. I don't anticipate a fight at the library. Is what I'm not.
I sure hope not.
Trying not to go back to that house by any means. I'm just saying that perhaps we should know a little bit more before just going in. I want to know what was on that land before they built on it.
I do too. I will say, however, it might be interesting to see the house during the day. All we
exactly my thought.
All we have experience with is the house at night, when it is far more terrifying.
It is.
And we have the keys now, so we don't have to break in.
And I do much prefer places in the day, especially because it's in the middle of nowhere, and I was hoping that the library would be in the city next to buildings and things I'm familiar with.
Well, you still could try to go to the library if you wanted to. I just think maybe Eden and I should go to there if you're going to go to the library.
We're not splitting up.
We're not splitting, no.
No.
Nope. We've decided to be together. So we can, if you have a friend, perhaps, we can talk to your friend, coordinate times.
Yes, I'll send her a telegram and see if she can let us in tomorrow for a tour and tell her.
I don't even think a telegram would be necessary. You probably even could telephone her. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
I do need to send a telegram, but I think it can wait till tomorrow.
Okay.
So much correspondence. Good.
Involving lots of other people in this very weird thing. Okay, I'm going to go. Did I see a phone anywhere here?
You would have seen one in the parlor, I think, last night.
I am going to go use the phone and then change into actual clothing.
So the four of you go about starting to prep to head out, and we'll say, whether that's going back up to your rooms, finishing your breakfast, thereabout things. Lorelei, you find the telephone easily enough, and you're able to contact your friend, Ms. McGuire, one of the head librarians at the university library. Roll me. We're just gonna work our way through this, and we'll see how this goes.
Okay.
But she's a very pleasant, but just Lorelei.
Hello, Amara.
How are you, dear?
Doing wonderful.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas. How are you? Are you having a good Christmas?
I am, actually. I've been having a bit of brandy, but we've almost finished the ham, and so it's going quite nicely.
Cheeky.
What are you in town, dear?
I am, actually, and I'd love to sit down and get a coffee with you at some point.
That'd be lovely.
However, I would love the opportunity. If you are up for it tomorrow.
Tomorrow?
Could you let us into your library at the university?
Oh, well, I wasn't originally on the schedule for tomorrow. Roll me...
Please.
Persuasion?
Persuasion, okay.
And I will say that you have, for this roll, Schweigai has given you a bonus die.
Thank you, Schweigai. Okay, here we go. Oh, okay. That's either a 49 or a 29 under 50.
Excellent.
Well,
yeah, 29 under 50. She's like, well, I will be in town tomorrow. I have to return this terrible gift to my husband.
No.
Don't get me started. He's a sweet, sweet man. He's got terrible taste, but I appreciate the thought. I just knew it as soon as I opened it. I was like, oh, I'm taking that.
Is
back.
it like a chartreuse?
Just
One of those
chartreuse.
colors.
And just it's kind of a plaid, but with like the ugliest plaid you've ever seen. It looks like no, just anyway. I will be in town. If you could meet me there around, let's say 10:30 or 11, I can let you maybe in for
you're
a
a
few.
darling. I owe you a coffee.
Okay, well, I'll take you up on that.
Oh, you please do. I'd
Merry
love to see you.
Christmas, dear.
Merry Christmas. Enjoy your brandy.
Been too long. Bye, friend.
Bye, sweetheart. Oh, she's so nice. I miss her. Okay.
And the four of you meet back in the hallways, perhaps outside of your room, having dressed. Or is there anything special or anything that needs working through?
I have reloaded my gun.
Yes, I would assume.
I think Lorelei has put on trousers for the purpose of moving quickly, not being hindered by a skirt.
By the way, did we establish, and I'm not asking this for any reason, I promise, who kept all the samples of the leg? Was that Charlotte?
Oh, that was me. So that's what I was going to check on. When I go back to the room, I just want to check to see if anything has been different, changed, and I'd like to take some of the more viscous samples with me in my little satchel because I want to see if it reacts to an environment. And I repack all of my Hecate paraphernalia.
What a combo.
Before we head out, can I catch Charlotte in her room?
Absolutely.
She's dressed again and she knocks.
Oh, 1 second. She opens the door.
Charlotte, would you prefer doctor? Or can I call you Charlotte?
Well, you can call me Charlotte.
Okay. Charlotte, I wanted to thank you for the lovely gift. And I have something that I think you might like. And from her collection of silly little crystals that she has, she pulls out a very shiny, worrystone-shaped black tourmaline.
Oh.
And she gives it to you. I thought someone of your proclivities might like it.
Charlotte holds it and feels comforted by it. Thank you. And please know, Lorelei, that any hesitation I have about anything, it's because I made an oath to preserve life.
I understand.
Well,
after Wally died, I have been struggling. And sometimes that comes out in how I take care of myself, or don't. And if I am in a position to put myself in between the three of you in danger, it's very likely that I will. But I will try my level best to not be as reckless as I am wont to be.
And I do think there's room for recklessness as well. It's a balance. Speaking of recklessness, on my end, if this brings you any comfort, and I don't know if it will, and I'll show her some of the samples.
Oh, disgusting!
This is strange and weird, and this is part of the beast that sliced you.
Ew!
Did you see it?
I did. Some of it.
Oh, did it look like this?
To that.
I think so, except it had big claws and it was very tall and silvery.
I see. Interesting.
You remember specifically, and I'll just remind you of this, the description as she's asking you about this moment, and you think back. No eyes on a face, on what would be a face, a distinct lack of eyes, and a mixture of things that felt insect-like, but humanoid as well, including things that appeared to be antennae growing out of its head.
Did it have ears at all?
Yes. Or at least misshapen, strange variations on what you assume would be ears, but yes, there were growths on the side of its head, on the sides of its head, where ears might be.
just because I don't know what you saw in game. How many legs did it have?
2.
2. Thank you.
She's sharing all of what she remembers. Thank you, Morgan. If it doesn't have eyes, does it find its way around by like sonar?
Well,
like bats, maybe.
You described it having antenna. Depending on how its senses operate, some animals use their antenna to sense things. So perhaps it's that. Perhaps it is the waves, motion on the ground. But I also don't think it walks on land normally. I think it maybe swims or is in a place where gravity is different. And if that's true, then the ripples would then cause...
That would make sense because it was pulling me through the house. We weren't walking, we were gliding, something.
This is
it was
all
pulling me
tracking.
like through the floor, through
God.
walls.
And again, your memories go back to the air rippling in front of you, almost like water, but not exactly. And it definitely was. There was a thicker feel to things.
Yeah.
As you were launched, as you said, through this strange, almost apparition of the same house, but still solid, but not totally.
Some kind of horrific water bug.
Well, let's thank you for sharing that. I was up very late trying to understand this creature, and I think I want still to understand it. I want to see if these things can exist or react to this environment in a different way. So let's go back. Of course, that's what we're doing. And Charlotte grabs her satchel, puts it around, it grabs in a drawer, finds matches, and a little flask, just like little matches, a little flask, and her journal, and puts it in her satchel.
Okay.
Are Eden and Diarmuid downstairs already?
Probably by this point.
Yes.
Okay, then she's gonna break into their room and put little crystals on their bedside table. There's a little citrine.
Just like a bunch of little birds just leaving things
we're both
around.
magpies. That's
I love
just how
this.
we are. She's gonna put a little citrine on Diarmuid's and then a little amethyst on Eden's.
I do think you see that folded up on Eden's bed. I think you see that Eden's bed is crisply done. And I think that you see that folded up on her pillow is the handkerchief and it is folded meticulously, so the feather is it's in this beautiful diamond shape with the feather in the bottom of the diamond. She does not want it to be soiled anywhere.
It's the first gift you've gotten in a very long time.
It is.
Yes, and as the four of you, after this moments of breaking off and coming back together, you gather in the foyer. You do hear the familiar voice above and behind. Are you off?
Oh, good morning.
And you see Crystal Macmillan standing. You see her in an elegant housecoat, the same housecoat you would have seen earlier this morning. Lorelei, her gray streaked chestnut hair sort of messily pinned up. Will you be returning to Thistledown today?
Yes, I think we will.
I'd hoped. Do take care.
Thank you, Miss Macmillan.
Yes.
Before you go, I want to give you something a little silly from my collection of things.
Oh, okay.
And one of the things that's in her inventory is this double hagstone.
Okay.
And she puts it into Crystal's palm and says, perhaps it will bring you some clarity and peace.
Thank you. Find him, please.
We'll try.
And My lady, Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas. Hope you enjoyed breakfast.
Yes. It's wonderful.
And as you step out of the front door, heading back towards the automobile, Keating is actually getting out of the car, having coming back, or the other car, having gotten back from town. Oh, glad I caught you. Mrs. Shepherd, I am so sorry. It turns out with the shops that are open on Christmas, the few that I could find, I was unable to find a board today.
Perfectly fine.
There is a toy store in town that is open tomorrow, and I do believe you will be able to find it tomorrow.
Fantastic. I will go and look tomorrow. Don't worry yourself about it. Thank you so much. No, please. It's Christmas. I should have known.
This is absolutely true. I used one of those bonus die from Abracadabra to make a luck roll and see if Keating could find a Ouija board. And even with a bonus die, he failed.
It's Christmas. I should have known better.
I rolled like an 88 and like a 56 or something. And but thank you, Abracadabra, for that bonus die. But in the cold light of the midday sun at this point, the air of the Scottish lowlands bites your cheeks as you once again pile into the car and begin your journey back down the tree-lined drive. You share once again that sort of... Is it the same seating arrangements as Charlotte sitting shotgun and Diarmuid and Lorelei in the back seat, or how are we feeling?
Yeah.
I think it's just for visual sake.
Yeah.
And you kind of share this sort of, for a moment, awkward and pensive and reflective looking out the windows as you turn onto the 2-mile road that leads you to Thistledown. Armed with calmer wits and a lot more information, you do your best to prepare your minds for stepping once more through those iron gates that you did last night. It's not long, again, maybe 5 minutes before you're there, parking up alongside Macmillan's very nice but abandoned, seemingly, just car left to the elements. What do you do?
Diarmuid will immediately go to the gate and unlock it using the keys.
Yeah, you are armed with the keys given to you by Nairn now, and it takes you a moment. It's not like a massive ring, but you find a few. But it's you find the one that makes sense, and you're able to open.
And I look at the rest of them and say, I guess we should go back to the cellar then.
Well, we could go back to the cellar, although we don't know what the rest of the house looks like.
I would love to go to the ballroom and see if that sphere of chairs and things is still floating in the air.
I'm sorry.
Before we do that, we simply have to come up with some sort of sign or something that if we're going to be reckless, you have to be reckless with someone. That's the only rule. If
I
someone
love this rule.
Yes, if someone that you're going to be reckless with says no, then you have to.
Yes.
You can't go on.
Yes, I love it.
I propose our two gunmen split off with one of us because I feel as though we are a little similar and perhaps our level-headed ones should be paired off with us.
You know, yes, I agree wholeheartedly. I think we should, I know how to use a gun, but I don't have one, because I'm not-
You want one?
Do you have, like, an extra?
I just wanted to see what you would say. I'll try to procure one for
I was
tomorrow.
just, if you had an extra, I wouldn't be opposed, but I would prefer to travel with one of you.
And Miss Lorelei, do you know how to shoot a gun?
I know how to shoot this one, and she pulls her little pearl-handled derringer out of her purse.
Oh, that's quite
respect.
Oh, thank
pretty.
you. Thank you. It was a gift from Waleed.
So
you find yourself standing there in front of the club now, and it's about midday and it's winter, so the sun isn't directly overhead. It's at a lower angle and it is cold, but still, you do it does take you a moment to realize that, yes, you are standing in this exact terrifying place as you were last night. And this building is still feels like it's looking over you with its many, many windows. But right now at this time, it does feel a little less intimidating, a little less terrifying, even though seemingly at this moment, nothing has changed, at least to the naked eye.
One thing, as we're walking up, I would like to see, I remember there was invisible walls that we had to pass through.
More like walk around, but yes.
Yes, walk around. I want to look at the grass to see if there's indentions in the grass that discern a pattern.
So it's actually quite difficult because the place where you found them, and it was around to the side, because it was when you were running towards Diarmuid towards the back that you ran into that one, and you were stepping at the time on fairway grass, which is extremely short cut.
Okay.
But roll a spot hidden.
Yes. That is a regular success.
Okay, with a regular success, you're able to find the one yesterday that you found that you ran into, smack into yesterday, just because of your memory of where. But it does take you a moment, and you don't really see any others.
Great.
And do you show everyone else this?
Yes. So what you would likely see is Charlotte, hands out, like looking like she's like touching nothing, and when she sees the indention in the grass, she says, "Aha! It has mass. The walls have mass, and that is important."
And Diarmuid, do you remember that as you were leaving here last night, your shoulder checked into something that you didn't see that seemed strange, and now you can see clearly it's nothing. There's nothing there, but if you want to just put your hand up where Charlotte's hand is, there is a very clear form of something.
So this barrier, when we tried to find you, Lorelei, as you walked through, I ran smack into it, and it is a maze, an invisible maze.
I almost wonder if it's this might sound silly, but everything we've been doing and experiencing is silly. A ghostly projection of the old house that was here. Maybe.
Should we mark it?
Yes, I think we absolutely should. Can we try to trace this part as much as we can before we go inside to see what shape it makes?
I mean, Diarmuid has a knife, or possibly even
you have a Bowie knife, if I recall.
Very easily.
He's got a couple of knives, but yes,
just kind of carve a line in the grass. It's marking up the beautiful fairway grass, but at this point, who cares?
They'll figure it out.
Yep. And actually, I'm just remembering now that this place, hasn't been tended to for a month. So the grass even that really nice fairway grass has started to grow up quite a bit.
Nice.
So yeah, that makes that sort of indentation even easier to see.
You know what I'm interested in finding out? That cloth you put on the door.
That would be interesting to see if that's moved.
That's why I suggested maybe we go to the cellar first to see if maybe that had moved around, and then we could go from there.
That makes sense.
Okay.
As you walk around the side of the building, and you again kind of pass those side sort of patio doors that face out onto the course. It's quite windy and cold, but you make your way past, and as you look inside, it seems calm. inside from the most you can tell. You make your way around to the back, down the small ramp where deliveries and other the service entrance in the back, and you see that once familiar heavy door with that cold lock, that cold knob that you had touched on when your first arrival here. Now, if memory serves, Eden, you had tucked the handkerchief into the upper corner, if I remember that correctly. Yeah. Okay. It would be visible upon first, or at least it was visible when you left. Yes, that was.
I believe so. I believe that's what I did. I didn't do it on the inside door. It was the outside door.
Yes. Okay. I mean, but what's most important
It's
though
visible
is that if this door had been opened, right? If this door had been opened, that would not be there anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yep.
As you make your way around this corner and make your way down, Diarmuid, you are leading the way and eager to see. And as you do so, it's there. It hasn't moved.
Okay, good sign number one.
You have... Yeah.
I'd like to look at it a little more closely. Does it look like it's been moved at all? Like, somebody opened it and replaced it. Maybe they saw it and replaced it, or does it look like it hasn't moved at all?
You can try a spot hidden.
All right.
Could I attempt to do that as well? I think, especially if I put it in a specific way, like I'm guaranteeing no one could ever put it back that exact way that I did. So I think I'm just looking for that.
Eden, you have a bonus die from Idaho Judd.
Oh my gosh. Thank you, Idaho Judd. My first bonus die.
Both of you roll your spot hidden.
Yay. Okay.
Trying to see if this handkerchief has been tampered at all. Potentially anyone could have gone in and out.
14 under 75.
Woo!
I won't spend the luck points then.
Yeah.
It's to your eyes, Diarmuid, it seems to be exactly in the same place. Eden, as you reach up and you're just sort of checking the placement of it, yes, and just trying to see if anything's different, if anything's tampered with.
Yeah.
You do notice after a moment that it hasn't moved, but it is crisp as the fabric has frozen slightly.
Well, looks like
it cracks slightly. It doesn't break, but in that like material, like cloth, thin like linen like this would harden and then just crack slightly as you crack some of the frost off of it.
Our boiler room hasn't changed, just as frigid as ever.
And as you're leaning close to the door, sure enough, you can feel almost like the opposite of what a firefighter would feel of a fire on the other end of the door. The door has cold coming off of it. If you were more than a few steps away, you may not be able to notice. But being this close, checking and investigating that, it's quite cold.
Yeah. Okay.
Isn't that weird? I mean, it's cold out here, but that door is quite cold.
It does seem weird. I'm not really sure.
Diarmuid will unlock the door.
Sure. Using the ring of keys that given to you by Nairn, easily enough done.
Yeah.
And as your hand touches this knob, even to enter the key in, your flesh almost sticks to the knob for a moment because it is so cold.
Right. So, look to the right, and that's definitely a boiler room, right?
Correct.
And to the left is the storage.
So you're once again looking into this gardener's supply, landscape supply room. So in the room in front of you, it's got a hard-packed dirt floor, rakes, shovels, things of that nature. A now empty can of kerosene.
Oh,
right.
But yes, to the right, you see the telltale like water pipes, things of that nature, and you can look through the door and see the the furnace, which is turned off. To the left, you do see this large storage room, which Eden really was the only, and Lorelei were really the only ones as when Eden ran through, grabbed her and left. But yes, that room in specific, the storage room, Diarmuid, now that you're getting kind of more of a chance to look in on what's going on there, you see this. It's kind of a catch-all room, right? You see, it runs the entire width of the clubhouse, north to south, as you can see in the plans. And there have been, that you're looking towards, you see collections of boxes, crates, canvas bags, various golfing supplies and goods for the golf shop above, kitchen utensils, pots, pans, just a little bit of everything, anything that a golf club might require. And again, the floor everywhere that you're seeing, this hard packed dirt floor, has that layer of frost on it. It has not changed. That has not changed at all from daytime to nighttime, or nighttime to daytime.
Diarmuid's gonna. Is there like a box or a flat top somewhere in this storage room?
There's a table.
Okay, so I'm gonna. Diarmuid's gonna unroll the blueprints on that table and orient them.
It's actually a couple. I called it a table. It's actually a couple crates with like a drop cloth on top of it.
Perfect.
A tarp. Yeah.
Yeah, just a flat space where I can roll out this blueprint and orient it to where he's looking at the room.
Right.
And then,
as you're doing so as well, now that you're fully in it, you do see these two other rooms that are north of where you entered from, which are both closed at the moment, but they are there as well.
Okay.
But yeah, you roll out the plans and looking it out. It's shivering just standing here.
Yeah.
As I said, it's cold enough in here that if you spent a fair amount of time in here, you might have to struggle with something like frostbite.
Mm-hmm. So quickly, he's going to lay those out, look around, and Eden, do me a favor. If you look in the furnace there, the furnace room, and start banging on the walls a bit and see if any of them knock hollow.
I will do so. I will just take my fists and just walking around.
Sure. They're all stone walls. And I believe it was Charlotte who pointed out that north wall of the boiler room did seem different. And I won't make you roll for this. You're able to see that it is whitewashed slightly, as if it's a little newer than the other exterior parts of the wall around the east and south sides of this room.
Do we have anything we could use to pry a brick out of this wall?
It's stone.
Is it like larger stones all put together in a mix?
Yes.
Okay.
For sure. If you look into so there in that landscape supply room, there are heavy tools. There's a pickaxe. There's a shovel. Things of that nature.
I will definitely. What Diarmuid is doing is, so the storage room is bigger than the rest of what's on this map, and there's a 6-inch or 6 foot, maybe. It's hard to see. 6 foot indicator above the wine cellar. Those stairs go up. Do I see those stairs that go up?
Yes. Yeah, you can see those stairs very clearly. Those are the stairs.
What's under them?
Right now, you see wood paneling underneath the stairs. Sean, can we see that map just a little bit, please? You see a wooden paneled wall. It doesn't look like anything. Doesn't look like shelving or anything of that nature. But to see what Ron is pointing out, under the stairs to that side on the basement, there does seem to be a slight difference in the space allotted and where the space would naturally go. Are you investigating that wall as you sort of are pointing out?
Yeah, I'm going to try to put my foot through that wood paneling.
Okay.
I want to go over there with him.
Yeah. Buddy system.
Buddy system in action.
Yes. Plan worked.
Now we're both going to get grabbed together.
You know what? That's okay. It's together.
Okay.
As you approach Lorelei, I'll say, "Hey, grab that pickaxe over there."
Oh, okay. It's the first time she's ever touched a pickaxe in her life. She's holding it very gingerly, like, ooh,
As gingerly as you could hold it.
Yeah. Well, because she's kind of holding it like this.
I love watching rich people try new things.
Make it the wall. Nice
Diarmuid, roll a strength check.
Oh yeah, I got that. I got that for days.
And you do have a bonus die.
Oh great, that's gonna
from Angel Devilson.
Thank you, Angel Devilson. Hold on. Oh, okay. It's a 10, straight 10.
Ooh,
Nice.
10 under.
You're
80
wall.
under 80.
Oh,
Oh my god.
he a strong boy.
Strong boy.
Wow.
The building collapses.
I was gonna say,
Over the whole building. Well, there goes the golf club.
One
Thank
tiny.
you for joining us for our campaign.
Lorelei, you are very excited as you found yourself a pickaxe. You're like, can I try? And Diarmuid, and as you come back around the corner, you watch Diarmuid just take a hefty boot and it breaks away. And you put your foot through what is thin enough to, it's not solid, it is a door.
Oh.
And you see a dark space and then a wall past it. So it's like you broke through.
I'll stop and I'll look at Lorelei and I'll say, Eden, Charlotte.
Yes.
I'd
Charlotte
get
is
in
like,
here if I were you.
Yoo-hoo.
Okay. Charlotte was like opening all of the other doors, just opening them and seeing temperature changes, but she, under the watchful eye of Eden, has not
Eden
left.
is just standing right there.
She's just temperature change.
I will very quickly walk you through those. That middle room in the south, that's kind of just north of where you entered from.
Yep.
When you look in that room, and these doors are locked, but you have the keys. I'll say if you borrowed the keys from Diarmuid as he was taking care of this, you could look in those pretty quickly. Is the electrics room and a telephone room.
Nice.
You see large electrical junction boxes, like 3 of them, and a smaller telephone access point. Thick insulated wires, lots of them, and clasped bundles of thinner wires go up from the electrical boxes up through the ceiling.
Okay.
Each of the large electrical boxes displays bright yellow painted words warning live electricity. That's that room. The other room is the wine cellar. You're able to open this room easily enough, and it is sadly empty.
Dang.
Again, dirt floor. I will say, as you are standing here in this room, and maybe right before you hear the crash of Diarmuid putting his foot through this wooden wall behind you, that electric hum is loud.
Oh.
In the wine cellar.
I see.
Or in the wine, the wine room. Yeah, the wine cellar. Yeah, you're in the cellar.
Yeah.
That felt weird to call it a cellar in a cellar, but yes, you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I feel like it is like Charlotte was about to take a step, and then we run to go.
Absolutely.
There's a moment of gasp and just jeez,
my gosh,
jump scare as Diarmuid, as you pull your foot back, the door starts to come with you for a moment. It opens out. And you're able to see it's on a spring.
Oh.
This hidden door. And once you've kind of broken it and you see that you did it one way, but you also see that there is like a finger-sized knot hole that you could possibly push it through to activate a spring, and it would come back. However, you would also be able to tell that this door, once you would go through, you've sort of, I'll say that this is even still operational. As you pull it off your foot and it opens, it springs back closed.
Oh. Well.
It's a self-closing door. It's on a spring.
I look at Lorelei. did he trap himself in here and we're just gonna find him dead in the hole over there?
I really hope not, because I saw him
That
in
would be
my
really
dream.
sad.
That would be really sad. Here, she goes and puts her finger in there and push it open. And then she's going to use the pickaxe to prop it open.
And while she does that, I'm just gonna take a big whiff of that hallway.
Oh, you're braver than I.
I love it. So funny that you mentioned the smell.
Oh no.
I don't like that you
no.
said that.
Oh, no.
For the record, I don't like that
Oh
you said
no.
that.
Oh no. Oh, no.
You do smell something,
Oh.
but it's not that pungent, awful smell of death that
Right.
unfortunately you
Sickly
are probably
sweet.
familiar with.
Yeah.
You smell, wafting down this hall, a very human smell of like that bad men's locker room smell of sweat and probably stale urine and food.
Well,
Has someone been squatting here?
Arthur, are you down there, Arthur? Can you hear me?
Do we have our flashlights on us?
I'll say so. You
Okay.
knew you were going investigating.
Yeah.
I would say
Yeah.
you would have those easily enough.
I'm gonna flick mine on and do the like Scooby-Doo peek around the door.
But there is that moment of tense silence as you call out Diarmuid. And you are also hearing this electric it's growing a little loud. It's now that you have access to this, you can hear it a bit louder coming through this short hallway. But no response comes to your call.
Well, I guess I'm and Diarmuid will pull his automatic cock it and go, I guess I'm gonna go in here and if you don't hear me scream in 5 minutes or so, I'm probably dead, but
No, I'm coming with you. You need someone to hold the
I
light.
wasn't going to assume. I wasn't
No.
going to. Well, I've got this one too here, so you know
Well,
I can
more than one light. And if there is a person
of
in
course.
danger in there, then
I was just saying in case, I didn't know if you want to go. That's fine.
yeah, of course. Come on, let's be honest. I'm gonna try not to be reckless, but it's not gonna happen all the time.
And I'll duck under and check it, and then be like, all right, let's go. And
Okay.
All right, so Diarmuid leading the way with Lorelei at his back. Eden and Charlotte, you're hanging back in the storage room for now?
Well, so I think we would likely go to where we heard the sound.
Yes, for sure.
Yeah,
And
yeah, you
so-
certainly saw this last part and heard
Yeah.
Diarmuid call. Yeah, I'll say
Yes.
that you're all close enough in the proximity of things that you saw that for sure.
Yeah, and I think that knowing that the door is on a spring mechanism,
Mhm.
I do think it's best we maybe stay out here in case the door locks. I don't want them trapped. And it, as a doctor, as Dr. Mantis, smelling the smell of the area,
Mm.
does it smell to me and to my nose like a men's locker room, or does it smell like someone? Is there a smell of death in this room?
There's not a smell of death, but it is that you would be familiar with, like, just smells of. It's like a hospital-y smell without the cleaner and without the it's like the human smells. It's the sweat, it's the urine, it's the other like
Mhm.
really kind of just smells of things not being looked after.
Okay.
stale.
Yes.
So I can surmise that somebody
But
was down
not-
here a long time.
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
Lorelei's gonna lean to Diarmuid and whisper, "Remember what happened the last time you and I went in this house alone together?"
Aye, but now I know sort of. I
Yeah.
know a little bit more than I did before.
Yeah, that's fair. If we see a boiler, don't touch it.
I don't plan on it. And if you see if you see a blonde-haired man with glasses, don't talk to him. Or
Oh no, he was good. I think he was helping me.
oh,
I think. Guess we'll find out.
I guess we're gonna find out. Here we go.
Okay.
But you, so it's a short hall under the stairs, and then it comes to a door.
And Diarmuid's not being quiet. He's like, if there's anybody down here, I am approaching with a gun drawn, so it's just for my safety. I'm not trying to hurt you. Yeah.
And you, as you're doing that, you're hearing no responses. You're not hearing any telltale signs of movement either. Just that thrumming now, ever slight electric buzz as you're moving, but that it's taking a bit more specificity as you feel yourselves like getting a little deeper into this area. You come to this door and you're calling out, making your presence very well known and hearing nothing on the other side of it. Do you open the door?
I'm gonna put my hand on the door first. Is there any heat or cold?
No more cold than what it's already been.
Okay. Then can I take a listen there?
Sure. Roll me a listen check. Lorelei, give me one of those two.
Sweet.
Not rolling great today. That's a 93 over 30.
Woof.
Mine's an 85 over 35.
Got it.
I did all my good rolls for the day.
No, I mean you don't hear anything else besides just that electric.
Then I'll open the door.
Okay. You open the door and you step into a room lit by a bare bulb, dimly, and you immediately see two cots lying opposite one another on the north and the south walls. And this is the shape. It doesn't seem to stretch the entirety of the space, because you do see in the middle of the south wall another door. So you're getting the sense this is about half of that unused space, and you see another door to the south. But also in this room, you see a table and two rickety chairs, a pack of cards, a pocket chess set, a collection of crime novels sitting atop a makeshift desk. A smaller table close to the southern wall contains moldy cheese, loaves of very moldy bread, and rotten ham. At the north side cot, at the foot of it, there is all of the furniture looks either hastily built or just like you grabbed it off the street corner, like left out by someone. There is a rectangular serving tray, and on that serving tray is a collection of a total of 19 books. And they catch your eye because crime novels were on the other table. These books cover a variety of subjects. Experimental physics. Things of you see electromagnetism. And also sitting next to, propped up on the books, is a slate tablet and some chalk.
Oh.
There's a chamber pot in the southwest corner, the source of some of those smells.
Can I grab this slate tablet and write hello ?
So you grab this slate tablet and this chalk, and on it, actually, as you even go with this idea, on it, you see complex advanced mathematical calculations.
Is there a back that I can use without disturbing what's on the front?
Sure.
Okay, on the back, I'm going to write hello.
And as she's writing it, I'm like, oh, there's...
I'll hold it up for him if he wants to, like...
With my cryptography degree...
Ooh.
That is a science. That's a science, right?
Yes.
Yes.
It's not cryptography, but I will say if you get a hard or extreme success, I will. So I'll allow you some of that.
Okay.
It's not a regular success. You don't need a regular success. You need a bit more.
That's probably it. Let me make sure. 12 under 36.
Wow. Okay. Yes, that's a hard success. Great.
Very close. 18. I need 18 or lower.
You're able to look through this, and you're getting a sense of it as she's writing on the back of it. And you're not even sure what she's doing. You're able to go, wow, that's intense mathematics, physics. And in your quick, you're a man of science, as you said before. A vast majority of the elements of this equation are completely foreign to you. Whoever's doing this knows their stuff far more than you do. You are able to kind of have a look and see that one of the variables is time of this equation. But beyond that, you have no idea.
You said there's a door?
There's a door to the south.
Is it humming real hard?
Yes, it is. Lorelei, you write hello.
I hold it up as well so that I can see the hello and he can see the math. And I look over at him and I'm like, do you want to copy it down? I have a feeling our doctor would like to see it. Just a hunch.
Well, yes, but what do you do it on the other side?
You remember my blonde friend that was in the in between?
Aye.
He communicated with me through a chalkboard that was upstairs when I was in the office. I'm hoping, because I feel like this might have been where he was. These might be his things. I just have a hunch. So I'm hoping perhaps he will write back to me.
Morgan,
yes,
I'll
sir.
Open that door that's behind us?
Yeah. You turn and you open this door to the south. This door is wooden, and this whole wall, you sort of realize as you step to it, this part seems kind of hastily and poorly constructed. Nails are poking out in spots. And you see, hats and coats on this side of the wall.
Right.
But you reach and you open this sort of makeshift door. And the first thing you notice is not the smell, but you see two cots on the far wall where their feet facing you. And you see two bodies on those cots.
Does one of them have blonde hair?
One of them has blonde hair.
No!
And now
Is the other Arthur?
this sound is quite loud in here. So there's a lot that you see, but your eyes go there immediately. The other body you do not recognize. But as you continue to scan across this room, Lorelei, you're peeking over Diarmuid's shoulder. You had seen this strange metallic construction in this room that seemed to take up a large part of it. And you see this machine, this control panel of something that you would never recognize. Knobs, dials, switches. And slumped over this machine is the body of Arthur Macmillan. You recognize his cane on the floor by his feet.
Okay.
You standing there at this door. Now here's the thing. Spot hidden, please, both of you.
Yeah. I got it. I got a good spot hidden.
Do I have a bonus die? Tell me I have a bonus die, please.
Checking.
I don't have that great of spot. I don't have that great of spot hidden.
Neither of you. Oh, Lorelei, you have another one from Schwagai. You have a bonus die from Schwagai. Diarmuid, you do not at this moment have any additional bonus die.
76 over 30.
What'd you roll, Lorelei?
09.
Ooh. Under
But the
what?
last time I rolled really well in this cellar, it went bad.
It did.
That's that's
It's under 60.
Unsettling.
Under 60. So that's an extreme success. Okay.
Yeah.
Got
That
it.
makes me more nervous now. And it's
Okay.
because of that second dice. So thank you, Schwa Guy. You're the reason I got another 0.
Diarmuid, you are taking a lot in this moment. So even
Yeah.
with a failure, I will say that you're able to see you see open wooden boxes by the cots.
Okay.
And that you can, from this distance at the door, you're able to see electrical components, spools of wire, circuits, a number of things that you're just sort of, and you have some electrical experience that you just recognize as sort of raw parts.
Yeah.
Lorelei, with your extreme success. All 3 men appear. You see the ankle of the blonde man exposed from where his pants have pulled away from his socks. His body is not gray or... He looks alive. In fact, it takes a moment as you see just their chest very almost totally imperceptibly rising and falling ever so slightly. And you look over and you look at Macmillan. On the back of his neck, his white hair is just ever so slightly lifting up off the back of his neck as if there's a static charge in the area. But from what you can tell, everyone kind of seems gaunt and thin, but perhaps impossibly, all 3 of them seem alive.
I'm going to do 2 things at the same time.
Okay.
I'm going to write 4 question marks on the slab, and I'm going to run to the door and call for our doctor.
Okay.
You're going to want to see this.
As you turn back around and turn to the slate and start and look on it, you almost drop the chalk. Because written on the slate is, "Hello?" ?
I'm here! I see your body! Just furiously scribbling on it. What do I do?
You are setting to that as you're calling out to Charlotte. And yes,
like stumbling around because she's not even looking where she's going. She's just looking at the tablet.
Okay.
Eden,
So
Yes.
turn off the power.
Oh wait, don't!
Why not?
What if this machine is what has caused their whatever soul to leave their body, and if we turn the machine off, we might permanently sever them. We don't know what the machine does.
Alternatively, what if the machine is what's keeping them trapped?
Well, let's wait for an answer. And she shows where she's been writing back to the blonde man.
His eyes get very big.
Yeah, you see written underneath her initial hello.
In different handwriting?
Very different handwriting, obviously rushed and as if it's someone writing with a hand, they're offhand, as if it just seems shaky and like it's someone who is having to go through great strain to write it.
Got it.
I think it's the blonde man. I hope.
They
Do you want me
must
to pull
be
the
here.
switch or not?
Don't!
Wait 1 second.
Just so everybody is aware what Charlotte is doing in this moment.
Not gasoline.
No.
Okay,
That's gone. That's all gone. So.
That's all gone.
It's already burned to the ground. Wait,
Yeah.
No, it's more of she's been looking at the springs and the mechanics of the door.
Yes.
Like this is not something that was like came with the house, it's something that was built. So she is thinking that there's people who are locked out. She is undoing the springs of the door so that it no longer like locks shut.
You're an intelligent woman. I won't even make you roll for that. It probably takes a minute or 2, but you're able to figure it out and either break the spring or just remove it entirely so that it's now just hanging open.
Yeah, like she finds a crowbar and she just
Easily enough.
You can use my pickaxe.
She gingerly picks up the pickaxe and goes,
It's a little much.
and probably Eden actually does it.
I take it with one
Charlotte's
hand
instruction.
and plop it in the door, just at an angle so it's always like. Even
I would like
if
to break
starts
it.
to shut. Oh, you want to break it?
I want to break it. Can we break this door, please?
Drops the pickaxe. Can I like just press my hand on it and push it all the way back so I break the hinges?
Yeah.
I don't know if that's a good way to do it.
I mean, with a little bit of
Just
time.
break the door?
Didn't even need the pickaxe. You said
hot in here? Is it
fine.
suddenly really hot in
Wrong.
here?
Eden is showing off. There's nothing else to show. So, did you want me to make a check?
So you were looking at the electricity or what? To break the door? No.
Great.
You've
cool.
got tools. And
I'm hot,
yeah.
so.
Sure. Yeah, tools, you're strong. I've seen your strength score.
Yeah.
I'll say between
And
the
I'm
two
hot,
of you,
so
it's easily enough done, and you're hot, so I just give it to you.
Yeah, so I press it back. I think you hear that like winding of the coils of the hinges,
Mhm.
and then it just pops like a very tense pop. And
It's
I
now
will just
hanging
put
on.
that to you.
It's hanging off its hastily built hinges, swinging into the storage. But you hear the panic in Diarmuid and
Yes.
Lorelei's voice.
Yeah.
So we would rush in because I just
absolutely.
want to be locked out forever. So
You rush your way past and
Yes.
come into this room, and once again you see everything that I
Holy
described. You see
moly.
all of the books. You see this kind of hideout, and then over Diarmuid's shoulder as he's looking towards you, you at least see the cots carrying these two individuals.
Blonde man.
but
they're alive.
Arthur McQueen.
How?
yes, I'm going to run
How?
to the closest
Oh, don't
body.
touch them! Don't touch them!
Just,
Okay.
Be careful.
Just look.
Roll a dex check.
Me, Dex?
I mean,
Yeah.
yeah.
Great. Listen, these are bodies. I am a doctor. What do you mean? I'm not going to run.
You're the one asking about diseases.
I know, but it's a regular success.
With a regular success, you rush into the room, and as you do so, you push past Diarmuid, your sort of doctor tendencies kind
Yeah.
of taking over as you see these people who are obviously malnourished.
Gaunt. Like, how
Yes.
much time do they have? Like, if they've been locked in here?
You are able to. Your hand is almost on the ankle of one of these men, the blonde man, as you do so, and you are able to stop yourself as you hear Diarmuid stopping you, and you're like, you're right. And Diarmuid, as you're able to see her stop herself, you watch as she is rushed into this room and standing in between these two bodies. You see her make eye contact with you, and then she drops to the floor. And that's where we're going to stop tonight.
Stop. Buddy system. Frick.
No, we're all in this
I
room.
tried.
We're
I
all in this
tried.
room. I'm in the same room. I'm in the same room.
Are you though? 'Cause I don't know that you're in this room right now.
No, your body is.
Your
but I don't
body
know
might
where
be,
you
but I
are.
don't
Yes,
think
but-
your soul
but-
is.
But buddy system is don't go into a dark place. We're all in this room together. There's a dead.
You're the one in the room.
everywhere.
Everybody else was holding back.
Yeah.
I thought you said that Arthur Macmillan was in the first room.
No, everybody's in the far room, and you were
Yeah.
rushing
With the
towards the
machine,
men who are
yeah.
in the
Oh,
far room with the
good.
machine.
I didn't know that that's what I was doing, but I stand by it.
Yeah, cool.
Lorelei's
You
just
made
rocking
sense.
back and forth. Blonde man, blonde man, blonde man.
Yes, yeah. All of the bodies are in that center room,
Yes.
and as you went to administer to any of them,
First
and
aid.
you did not touch them. I'm not
Nope.
saying that you did. It did not matter.
Oh, God.
It is as if you stepped past something, and moments later, your body just went boom, drop. And that's where we're. Woo! Oh, this is so fun. I love you guys.
It's so fun.
We'll be back next
my
week to see what happens with these
That
folks.
all that snowballed quickly.
Yes, it did.
Why did we go back to the cellar? You'd think we would learn our lesson the first time. No.
I mean, the reason we went back to a
You
cellar
certainly
was
learned a lot.
Morgan gave me a map, and I went, "There's something wrong with this map."
You caught it.
It was great. It was fantastic.
So amazing.
Oh,
At the end of each of our shows, we went along tonight. I appreciate you, but what was I supposed to do? This was too good. At the end of each of our shows, we like to read off the names of certain patrons and the styles of their choosing, and we've got some fun ones tonight. Do you have the lists there in front of you?
I will in just a second.
Yes, I
Lexi had to jump off. I knew, but also she is fine. There are some storms in her area, but I know that she's safe and everything like that. But it is also quite late where she is. But yes, this is where we are tonight. So we are going to read some of these Patreon names in the styles of their choosing. Does everyone have the lists?
Yes.
I do.
All right.
I do now.
Okay, terrific. So we're going to start with Team Force of Shadow, as we do most weeks. And we're going to read these ones in the style of wine snobs trying to out-snob the other wine snobs.
Oh, I know these people.
Yep, so do I.
I think I'm nuts, but this Lincoln break is breaking all over my palate.
Do you see the tannins in that one? There are no legs, but if you take a little snifter of this black Kakari, you'll see legs for days. Oh.
I mean, are you still talking about legs, Susan? I think ever since the Failwaffle region was discovered in the south of Peru, that really it was a gateway guy that opened up, and legs are so 2010, dear.
I don't know, Judd and I've been at this wine tasting for about 4 hours. That's wild.
I gotta say, Jeanette.
Yes.
You abracadabbered about 5 bottles earlier.
I did.
I'm worried about you, dear.
No, they all start tasting the same after a while.
Jeanette, I'm so glad you're here. This is actually an intervention.
Awesome. I love that to me.
I'm so sorry. That was...
Don't you dare apologize.
Oh my god.
Oh
And
my goodness.
Brilliant
That was
choice.
incredible.
Force of Shadow.
That was incredible. Just coming in
Abracadabra,
straight up
5
hammered.
Amazing.
Love it.
This is the tasting, right?
I'm drunk
tasting
on
it.
wine.
I love wine.
Oh, you're supposed to spit it out. Are you supposed to spit it out?
Am I supposed to spit it out? I've
Sorry,
never
what?
been. This is gonna be me for real life.
We'll go wine
don't have to
tasting. I'll
spit it
take you.
out.
I would love that.
That's great.
Oh man.
Oh, thank you, Team Force of Shadow. And for Team Force of Light, we have, again, just right in line with this kind of game. We've got a great suggestion. I think this one was from Departos, a vintage 1920s news bulletin. Newsline: festive life preservers found in the Atlantic. Could they be the signs of more war? Angel Devilson has all the latest news. Angel?
City racing girl. Are they racing in the city or are they girls?
I don't
That's
like
the
girls
story
racing.
next.
Nope.
Not in this time period.
Not in this time period. I'll be a fender-ill if I'll let my wife race in the city.
This just in from the Ghostbuster Quick Response Unit. There has been a Bereba spotting down the 5th Highway, closest to the Just Jewels new conglomerate that just opened up.
Just
And-
Jules, you say?
Just Jewels, our
You should
sponsor,
do a
Just
dungeon
Jewels.
speed run down there today to get your Just Jewels.
Just Jules. We're
Just
just selling
Jules.
jewels in the 1920s.
For your everyday needs. For what? Don't ask us. Find out yourselves. In our entertainment news, the movie Unbearably Loquacious has been a big hit in Hollywood, starring all of our favorites. 2-0 Mask.
Duo Mask. You know, is that one of those new talkies, that Unbearably Loquacious?
It is.
It is.
And it's in some color. It's got 2.
I suppose it would be difficult to be loquacious in a non-talking picture.
Truly, yes. Although, those subtitlers can get pretty snappy.
That's what I hear. That's what I hear. Thanks, everyone, for tuning in to our team for the
I realized in this moment, I don't know this genre. I don't know. I almost came in drunk again, you guys.
I am very
so
much the
close.
person that like listened to 20s radio programs that are on YouTube.
I love that. Thank you, Team Force of Light and Team Force of Shadow. I'm also learning that if I scare these guys at the end of the episode, then the Patreon name readings get a lot sillier.
We need the levity.
Yes.
Oh my god.
Oh, I knew this was going to be a good one tonight. Fantastic. Thank you so much, friends. We will see you next week. Tell your friends. The responses to the show so far has been to this new kind of storytelling and this new chapter with us has been so terrific. We got so much more cool stuff on the way. Join the Discord if you haven't been. The Discord is the loveliest place. Serena talked about our community earlier, and it's really a great time, and it's always so fun to share. And if you haven't seen the character art that JD illustrates has been dropping, we've been putting on our social. We just put up Charlotte's today, which was the final of the 4. It's really, JD Illustrates has been with us since almost episode 1 of the first campaign, and this art is some of my favorite that he's done. It's really fantastic. So check all that out. Follow us on socials. Follow these beautiful people, and we'll see you next week. Until that time, humankind, be both.
Be both.
Bye, friends.